I dedicate this song to the Member of Parliament for Kole Klote, Honorable Dr. Zaneto Ajima Rollins. Yeah.
The one who gives you strength.
That's a new thing come out to.
Would you by my hand?
Me pay the speaker here, you know, the other time, no.
The one
and you see, that hypocrisy, no. And I'm doing 1 minute as I know. And to one rasher, but if you're more punch and say, near what cast as I'm not member say, may repeat it, and again, and you be so may repeat it, no. Your cast as I'm ginger, no. Send your corner more punches and winning, nana. Well. Yes, ready about so. Ebi a more train speaker hwehwe no. Say bia no e ba na ye gu ani mase no na opɛ dia. Wonya kukudufo. Ba ma wo ka asɛm a wo suru asɛm. Dia wo kan no sɛ ka wo gidie wo ma akabai na wada ho adi sɛ minie. Wo ba ma brabonten. Wala braso yemfa emfonyi kase amra mo. We Dwabo Ase Power 97.9. I'm up on my church cool. And I feel so grandma Atenase. And if Fiada. If you Fiada say I'm near Madi and who tire if you say and say, I try a crada. Agree on a design and obey.
Yamiadom.
Ame.
Brock Kwame.
We are dealing with Sarah. We have to show a cacro.
Bays.
Hey, Miss Now. Baby, you get
oh, Waja. I dare cheer you.
Is it no money in a yan and getting it?
Who here?
Bibi at who
here? Who here? And I had you say, Muti, chain woman named the kind of a Juma ye waha. Now, on my dream, they want to say anything. Keke. Because they feel said they can just write
and say
anything at all and get away with it.
Imagine.
But no question say. Oh, Hana, who name the kind of input near Juma ye waha. Over Soyano pa you clap. Over bones, some say, more ye Juma. Show who's way. Would I I'm sure say whoever know what bent what you say.
Or to Bebu
or to the air can I say.
And not by me inbox was patrol. Now say what trail Facebook or
into a delete.
And I'm say, would delete we are. A chow now, oh, panel. Ewa. Can you say that the whole day? TVS wise that January. And a partial number way. And
I'm sure he wasn't following. Because your news were Hanopa. Your morning show were Hanopa. Your friend is a news on TV.
That's right.
And you read your news on radio.
That's right.
And he meaning baby I know what's here. And if you hire can't monitor other stations, news need be waiting me but no kind of be 1 week later.
Yeah.
But story assembly anywhere to form wa ye moso ha and I can was them ha
anyway we are not claiming perfection but
no say ni nipa bia ni
one
kan no kwasem na ewum no men koto mfutuo mfangu your friend is enkrofo ani
we are be catch
e bia 1 or 2 days bia na times bi monitor and monitor no na ye kra sha afia se holiday say na ye die
well
I think this is the first holiday and then upo ya ye adwuma ye nyina enra oba news ma on a holiday I ain't in a bedroom. And Kaye be reading the pen beba. But on a holiday like yesterday, everybody was here.
We were really not say advert in the Munzia. Kebi a metina say. Kwame here advert bed on the bema.
If you want to see a bad advert dodo. That much ya heka de. When you go catch you fast weba. And I na bi modwe say because say bia ye jumera a boss need to know. I'm saying man automatically a 2 years so. Sometimes I go for but yet for your do but yeah the way I'm modern dream maybe hono e bi modern dream maybe hono ya na enye ne kwaso ano no ye adwuma e wa ha ed ya ye hu sika tua ye ho ka and e kwa ya fa so generate sika ne bi ye say ye be bo advert ne bi ntia munya botre ma ye bo a wo sam kra mo ta ye chi
na mo pe be ka
aha mo de be ka ye ho na ye sika na ya akese ne asom yie o ti ase aha ntia mamu mankrofo bi mfa ne be bi hihye mutirim say ade na bia e bi kwa ya safo ne fa so tua o mo ho ka no ene ye de ne nyepe aha enti no mo appreciate adwuma ye ne ensom yie ye ni ye ensom yie why I like that. Don't baby.
No, baby piano. Yeah, go ahead.
Yan shan sam national symphony kasiye na yadema etiefo ene anope na yanhwe ene daily guide ade nsem bi aba na nensem ode ba no kirema na sandra eye Ghana afofida fa hodida yedi ye no na se eye kane mampanyi yewura eye je kufo ekopie mu awase nyine hu ye na afe eye nanado nana adodankwa ekufu ado enso ekopie mu ewo eye dwumadie na asentia no ne mfoni a se eye daily guide no pay nseme bebe si woni nyina no eye se ode abetudwa yewura mama enso mfoni eda ha na ye kwa ase ho so a awehosima si ewo eye konongo odumase se amanfo tonton niam ede pipe galam se dynamite ne ade bi se enso kwaji bum obi nim ne baye no omse nipa miensa na afemu ahwerem nkwandra eye Ashanti region minister Dr. Frank Amakohene Abrante obo adwuma be hia no TikTok be bia enso still obo na adwuma okopie mu okohwe dia asia se okirem se dia akonyina no se ombeboa nkrofo a se jese nioma sisi amanfo partners nioma ase wontia no ne nsema eye daily guide so ede ababetudwa eye ende anope nti wonsaka bia obehu ni nyina bi nso no ewo eye honom Mamento aso na memfa eye the Democrat your friend daily dispatch nto aso na the Democrat yi mu no atwa mfoni dia ba e wa hade e wo kanie wo se era John Dramani Mahama ya Ghana ya mampani papa bi ye kasa de from antem wenra wo koho ed nani ekobo nsra ekokohwe tidal wave said yes epoasroche ni bufa nkrofo so ho no e ahomte se me be ka ya na no ye hu mfoni bia from antem so afo era James Gunu woni wo mo akoda bontene said ye be ye na wo mu so be hunu se hawo ni wo mo nko hawo ne mu ya ban nyina hawde nra na etwa se mampani ankasa nso de nani kɔbɔ hɔ na okore se de situation no esitientie nra okɔ hɔ ne ade hya kodi nkomo wɔ no wahye wɔ no bɔ bebree ɛso obɛhwa ama sea defense ne yaye na boa ma yenya ye friend se wɔ no a ebetumi ama ensuo ne bɔ a mama wɔ mo so ne mfo ha mfama ɛho asɛm de obokrata ediaba na enra Independence Day ya yedi ye ne yɛbɛhwa mfiempi no ene du miensa nkra kyerɛ se sika yɛde ye na ye 13,000 2024 dia ye 15,000 na yehwe afi mu budget ye de bae no a na se ene number 20 million 15,000 15 million 30 million but the other ba fi no na say ehuri kwasra kodu 20 million no na mampani hwe no se debi 20 million budget the other de nko an ye kwa say ye so adom no mabegu Independence Square be match keke ene ade 20 million de debi yenye ni kuma bi nto se emu ohamu nchemu enum pe 5% pe out of 20 million no ene ye de ye Independence Day na enra ye de ani ehunu kama fe and so crowd the nyafe ne yanche o engete mampani a metwe kasa tintin bia 1 hour within a papa ne ye wie ni nyina nsem o kai nyina so debi eya sem we hia se wo se nyina ye tie ne boa yen na me de na ye me de wo me se wo ka che ade hye wo boko se ebre na so se wo se conflict anament me wase wo ho no neya ne ye wro sa atade ni gu ho ne ye hwe ma asomdie da ne ho adie na menim se wa hye wo mobo ese obehwe amasa ne ma ne nyina ye kama enti no ye watwe ma ye hwe nanim ti ho asem so de obokrata adi aba ye rasa eche mensa bonso wo ye MPP amanyuko de hye na no kra research bi e ba ye se wo na hye kira wo mo ekoye sa research na wo mo bo akufu ado so bo se ye ono ne ma party ne we ye ene de keka ho no se ekoba ase ye se wontwe ne ho nyina nchen na for before from rano na akoye nsem bebre ni ade but woni mampani akufu ado ya adwene so wo de wonyina nchen ne ma leadership foforo emfa emra se de beye na enema ebekoyi ntini ye bisa ne de ntia oyi ne ho free eye majority position ne ma obi foforo ebekura mu na wode sa enchemu we wode eba nti daily dispatch de obokrata no ne nsem ahodo ano pe wode ba ye bi no
yes penta bi ya remind no wi ayi electricity cables ne bono osisia enenam over 1 million Ghana cedis
painter
what the new Bank of Ghana headquarters
eden na yesi no aka kakra be yawie na ye no
wako wi cables
ya twi light abaho ma painter timi abetwetwen wires ne bi de ko
over 1 million Ghana cedis ya remanded no
kakra da wa yentu anwie almost 31.8 million dollars wo wa yentu anwie yo and ono nko afam 1 million Ghana cedis ko boy.
Kwame na o hwe ase we nu kura ya ba ko pe bi a epie. There was a time a service man bi ba ha. With videos evidence omo twetwe nyoma ni bi ye to aba
no besa
ni omo di ye adwuma wo Bank of Ghana honom no omo di car kosi omo load nyoma ni bi
e dey ko
omo dey ko nti we no ase onu ni ti na anya ye because ye ka se ye twetwe omo nyina anka do so pa nti ni nyina aka na Ghana ka no akodu mpempen so a Kwame Minkah daily graphic mu na je se endura Ghana for fideto so diosia enwotwe edie no Ghana mampanyi ro papa bi as the celebrate to go achema Ghana okwa wo se afa so na timi ade ho na ye gina bibie mu na ho nsam so ha sanso na ye budget omo ye na edi da no so no Ghana fododo na abo nsam pra nti betimi disika kuma bi sei aya ade mo na ye na nso be hwie no pure ba akokora na timi ton be ye bi a 100 Ghana cedis awo me na so nkunta no bebrebe na eka enso ada ho ma Ghana nti ho nsam na se abasobor ya de ma yewura mahama ne na pamfo so ma ya de Ghana ye be kikire ne asisem na timi akoyi ampa nti no nsam a se daily graphic anopay de ebetu dwa
alright mama father chronicle the obokrata ni wiete wo hana chronicle wani mu watwa papa infoni dia bad spiritually on person obetna minority seat ne wote ho no Alexander Afenyo Makin ono ne de na to ha sei na yesi wo ko dia ma
na sasem ne
atwam dada na no kro mu di motion ne kra no ya nya
no chronicle no I don't know
sister na omo de omo no omo duguso we mu nyina kura ya tete nsem nko a enra holiday no wo nso di bi obe ndie we hu enra newspapers no omo anya adwuma akwa na o kan lazy asem no ono we hu so omo anya adwuma ni bi enti ba ko ye no so dase he ono so se your friend say Sierra John Dramani Mahama so the ministers adusia na ye adwuma no paper so keke o say kasa keke e ya be kan emo contract emu a ministers near 100
almost stock in trade no almost said that fact figures no much in some no
38.1
you to the omo person
38.2 38.2 no so na eguzwa o
ama me dance sanso na kua me dance say modern foni kese abre ebusu abra so say ye dia agudie mu nsem beba fa ndi atena se a wa ye krado ama ya no pay and if you His Excellency John Mahama Bokwan na to eti no ma ye say adaje no ye ntwetwam free ho what you say on said your President Mahama State of the Nation's address wa ban ten ebra so pe no na ekono ebra so agudie mu nsem brenie fandi atena se on a beautiful Friday morning Power Sports with TVXYZ at Power 97.9 fandi ye ko weekend emu ye sheshe de Adi na ko rekodo African Cup of Nations no so you can be bat any the tre
and dey say any the tre sisi no man dey na e beba so no
that's right
which is under the women's national team no beba so na me ado junior
and Ghana can be
Ghana and Ghana can be
it's Ghana for any the tre
any the tre fa ye hwe ni say man I mean coach Kim Last by send on name man shase preparation ni ade me omo friendly match omo Morocco for boy no I think man ya ade team go di Morocco for san because he can one of the best women's team we are seeing na Morocco for so team e ka ho bia omo so Ghana for no boy no mo hold you omo come and omo boy last minute and I mean mistake it to be boy na omo team e show omo I think say they are on course our preparation go so side omo so makopie mu so omo free Ghana e kwa kopie mu ba bia say omo kwako ye training ni ade ho no nti ye hwe na bibia e de akon kan ti ye hwe na se bra Kwame ebie kwan se no so gure mu si aboabo no se Power Morning Sports no ye hwe na ye ntimi emfa so mu e Dwabo Ase chumedie se Power 97.9 FM TVXYZ and gusa o hwe de kawaka 7 no de dross mo na edika na itie no e na ka amamusu wetimi ate ne no ye borem enso e wo Ghana under 16 ye women's team no e adese ma no etimi e shine power e mortar abonten so e de ho sem no e be ma kama e show so and ready we be tebiri nyina akopie mu Kumase baba yara sports stadium Heroes Park ho Alexandrata and e da ye nua bema ba ko no support papa o dikotoko etia na no ata okonya ne kwanhie wuo e wo insua train no ndra and e pre ne crab ye enso ho no de ho sem nyina enso e be ma kofo ebre etimi akasa esiare along glass the Ghana Premier League no is back again the fixtures no enso e be ma kama e wo show say ndra the UEFA Champions League on etimi ekọ so ma tips ni do na etimi na Chelsea the Blues Conference League ono so etimi ewini ni match we de ho sem nyina enso ma show no so na mo hye no so se Roger Emmanuel the sports monarch and afi Justice Ebutila the Iron Boy ebomechido se producer me mata se na no pay Madam Seven Bramatin, I'm saying the praise himself. F to the A and D Y Fanti. Mami Shen Sana say na me fama da neko PM the Ghana under 16 national team no at the Black Damsels for a decent brother. Unu see kasoma ko PM and so more tomutimi at the Yofa development matches be and tournaments be air cost kama and so horma. Yere ho semono and so my drata and so mutimi etibo kwa na di answer man the din at the Northern Ireland for a bomb a couple poly enum e wa mo entimi ensim Come first match, I'm boy no. They say almost share 8, and so much motor for a bomb a couple polling watching. I want more team back up. And the almost second match, I'm boy on the Ireland for boy no. That's almost a bomb a couple polling and noon to watch idea. It's like 13 goals on my son, 1 goal pen, and I'm a consider and so I'll my 7 and so a next match on my one on Latvia minor and a bit to me out bought it to me. I so much we need ya. Next year, Shane said on my Ghana, a to me after tournament in edition. So come on, you don't want some else when you preparation towards a year. Groom ya ebe groom yomo ni a promote yomo e dia call under 17 national team no na me bia etimi akon kan e dia montendra there na say the black emba the black damsels of Ghana no e dia so omutimi bo mo mote no mo boy etimi e share goal ni the Priscilla Mensa Priscilla Mensa no e share 2 goals no 16th minute and 26 minutes no ana otimi e share na afi okopiem dia side to Wahab ono so etimi a protect goal no e de ma Oman Ghana afi Daniela Abbas ono so a burn of 4th goal no or say a boy bibia etim e conquer tactics or Ghana for e to hono am attacking tactics on the to on a ball one e ma mutimi e winning game no kama e hono see shame say na me don next match and that's my last match of one Latvia my no e betimi enso e de kama ye don ho sem no enso e ma ye furu no de nkopiem enso e won sem foforo mu de na say e no so theater ni nyina e da kopiem e Kumasi Baba Yara Sports Stadium ho e Heroes Park and Drata and SNN a 6th of March 2025 next of my Ghana yedi ya fo fida enso e hono my His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enso e State House and so den sempa etutu dwa e da my Ghana e de se kopiem ne Kumasi de awe hosem ana e koso e hono e se kopili nyina Kumasi Asante Kotoko supporter baako a otimi ekopie mu e ho no ma na esendra omokoye Heroes Park e ho na etimi ekope na na pole ekrabia no unum se ne din ankasa Frimpong Francis ya Frimpong adodo na friend na pole and brother and esa brand no etimi ekope na krabia e ho wenyina mra Kumasi Asante Kotoko ekopie mu e wo nsu atwam ni nsu atrem e de match score share so e ho no mewi ase no esa na pole pinche me ho mo asibi ekopie mu honom e ma na Napoli obitimi e wo ne sekan a eno so ho ensem na aninti enam so e ma ye holding on football na bese busumini football Ghana Premier League antimi ankoso brother ene se okopie mu de na se ho ene se ndo ekopie no krabia enso e honom a ye de ho nsem no enso ma na se okopie kofa omotimbe pio na busuafo na yere ene ne maamene ne manyina na busuafo nyina etimi e pie honom sanso ana kopie mu de Kumasi Asante Kotoko management and the footballers nyina ade se omu nyina enso etimi ebepio na afa nyom nko a ohun se kotokofo ana ade atom ani se nyom nko a ena etimi kokopie the House of Folk enso ekopie obi Nations FC enkofo enso ekopie obi other sporting discipline and sporting clubs nyina omu nyina ebo homoden etimi ekopie honum bia na se omode support kese ba ekota Kumasi Asante Kotoko eti so mo hwe na bebia etimi akonkan enso edi amose ban endrade a na se okopie Kumasi dia na se nyefedi agro rebrena dodo na edisimi kopie mu hono ma omunyina akohwe so mehwe na omampo na ese yenua bema onyane baby ekọ na football so otimi ehwe ne nkwa na pole no ade se ndrada na etimi ekope no krabia enso hono me de ho nsem enso ade say the Ghana Football Association led by Kurt Okreku the president no ade so no so LED ne members nyina ana omunyina etimi ekopie mu hono omunyina ade ekoye na so omne Kumasi Asokofo ekobo mu ekotwa ajajo ana so omne kosie eye omobra wade hye kama ya de ho nsem no enso ma e wo show no so na e wo dwumedie na se no course no only say Branton team at Joseph Langabel a ban Ghana Blasters there so one match support or chief papa or Timmy Bois supported the Black Stars of Ghana and so on face so a ban Great Olympics or no so a fan palm supporter papa or no so any second crown to draw or change or say a canon quadia. I come back catch the Ghana Football Association say in Sharma Football Club there yen share near Pandi every football mo say no one idea what share e man course wa supporters no etimi e wo bi sika na there enya dia etwa and I say e koye e Ghana football mo te be ya kan Sharma for there yen twa mo sukra every Ghana football mo
in Sotamende they should go there until that kid don't come period because we have a Beku Chelsea we go there there's no problem there. I'm Olympic supporter. We travel so many ways. We go to Arsenal, the time where Alaji, Arsenal Day. We go there, no problem. We came to Kotokos, to Ashanti here, no problem. We went to Dwabo Ase, no problem. We went to Sunyani. Although Sunyani is a hot cake, but them all they know how to support football. They know how to do football. But when we go to Bechem, do you understand me? We go to Bechem too. Do you understand how to play football? The supporters understand football because as immediately they come, I'm about Premier League, I'm about modern, no me baby, I support that young teach me. But as you try I'm about Premier League, I'm only 2 years. I'm alive. If I'm a mistake, I'm alive. No, they don't get 2 years. Yes. Only 1 year you get. Yes. You come and do this thing. They first command them from the league. They have to command them from the league. They should stop the league. Nobody will go there. From today on, nobody will go there because nobody will say he will tell you.
Etiano and Selma Joseph Langabel, Eddie 2 every Amana, Young Konya PM or the Ghana Premier League match day 23 on every team ambassador they say and also every team Accra had to folk at an FA non-able quality at the Young Apostles and so Eddie Abeno ever cost our University of Ghana Stadium no come and be a team Kumasi as Santo call and so any Legon cities and a Bueno ever cost our Bayara Sports Stadium come Sanso Anna Kerala United and Basaka Holy Stars and other course or Liwahama Sports Stadium and after Okopiem the Mediama FC and Bechev United and Bono Elcoso out TNA Park and TNA Stadium. You don't want and so Emma Sasso the Babiani Go Stars at Tenefie, not the Nations FC and so Eddie Bueno and Elcoso Babiani Dons Park and so Vision FC at Tenefie, not the Heart of Lions and so Eddie Abo. Now say ni Kreku Sports Stadium as a sports complex and ever cost to Samson Brekum Chelsea at Tenefie, no Accra Lions and so Eddie Abo Nana Ajiman Bedu Park and I know about me across to Dreams FC Etna Tuba Astrotef, no Adriana FC, and so at the Abo Sanso and instruction man at Tenefie, non Wokwan Dean at the summer test, and so at the Abo, next instructor ho and on the bon now in some bar and it's one show almost a match and yet some boy or instructor, you don't seven and so Emma now could be our leg log next to the say, leg log no and so at here hono, Babian Go Stars and a ready kind or no aircraft 34 points as Santico at Tosumiano aircraft 34 points, Heart of Lions at Tosumi and Sam or no aircraft 33 points and I Heart of Folk at Toso and 9 or no 33 points, Nations FC at Tosu and Loom or no aircraft 32 points. Now could be our last train and so they say NCT Kerala United Etosu Dunsiam on no aircraft 17 points Legon Cities and so Etosu Dunson on also 17 points and I do watch on Accra Lions on also aircraft 16 points you don't want 7 and so Emma now after no himself there's some Medema head coach Panidin Ede Ibrahim Tanko and also Eden Sankakra Eddie Atuja Eddie for the Ghana Premier League I said what the assurance Eddie call Eddie man fancy now so Australian him say MTN for cap no we free mono I say Ghana Premier League no be one more thing no me papa ejina Ghana Premier League name.
Unfortunate that we are out of the MTN FA Cup. Definitely we disappointed our fans, but I think when you look at this week the way the boys train and the way we work, definitely I have a very hope that we are going to make them happy this coming weekend. Very good, like you said, we almost have everyone on board, so the training was very good since last week. And like I said, we are happy that they are back. Definitely we are going to have a very strong squad against Bechem this weekend.
Enti ano Mediama head coach Ibrahim Tanko ana yɛtene kana ekopiem Heart of Oak enso akachere nso goalkeeper bakwa the team at the Benjamin Asare number 1 goalkeeper at the Mahasufo ono and second crowd to ja echem so say ade se the MTN FA Cup no de o mafiri mu de nemom o say na mo focus nyina e coach the Ghana Premier League na mo hweri so mebo mo homoden na say etimi koye mo a na say league na kasakra no o meje
Tuan Quebec try FA Cup na gbina alo try FA Cup no ni wa achieve tuan ke ba gbeli ye na ke schedule onyo owo o achieve FA Cup for league na we jeme but once ni bia na agie wo FA Cup me e be san go preparation ke o mental tough I have concentrate on the league bia no ji wo target bia na ko kwem ni ke colleague say for preparation to the league lo tuan ke e be bia na ke ji wo ni wo achieve FA Cup me ke be san bia na no fi no anyo fi ni ke anye na good position in the league alo towards the Saturday and our league and one supporter say on play management and narration or profit prayer.
Ain't see ano ayen sama Benjamin Asare has for goalkeeper at 2 there the 7 at the amana yenhwe ne yenko division 1 league no so etimi ekoso ne dia okopiemu also 1A na say and fixtures no STA so ehonma wa so na te etinafie no ne bo kwa ne din at the Tamale Cities and so at the abo sanso and akopiemu dia Rock Tamale United and wa power and ebo Yapi United and so and Wale Catholic Stars and ebo Victory Club Warriors and so any Northern City and airborne kama and so Sanso and Akopiemu Zone 1B Nidia say and Techiman Heroes at Nefe no Techiman Liberty Youth and so Eddie Abo Sanso and WB United and so and Techiman 11 Wonders and Airborne Soccer Academy and Mighty Royals and Airborne Doma Unity and for Katano and so Airborne Bibia Etimia Konkai Sanso and Akopiemu Zone 2 Nidia say and Ekonu Edibiase and King Faisa and Airborne second 11 Wise and Asakem FC and Airborne Sanso and Akopiemu Soccer Intellectuals and Rockspark and Rockspark FC and UCC Youngsters and so any Zimakotoko and Future Stars and Mysterious Drafts and Park Academy and Sky FC and Libesiani Sanso and Seshi All Blacks and Swedro All Blacks and Airborne and Elimina Sharks and Bekwa Heroes and Ebebo na Zone 3 no say and I also call Okopiem that Oko United and about quantity and the Kings Palace and Airborne na God FC and Atram Divisa and Ebebo Park City and about quantity and Sempefi and Airborne Akachi All Stars and so any FC Nania and about Great Olympics and Kotoku Royals and about Rain Masters and so about the D and Home Stars FC and Airborne True Democracy and Hoho United and about Bonamantino Interallies and about quantity and the Golden Kicks and so at the above Namibia Etimi Akonkai na yekoto so and so Women's Premier League and also El Koso Kama say and also Etiokopemo or the Southern Zone area say and call Halifax Queens at Nefe non soccer intellectuals and so at the above Police Ladies and Berry Ladies ebebo Sanso Anna Epiphany Warriors and the Hazakes Ladies ebebo Faith Ladies and the Joanna Ladies ebebo Lady Strikers and the Army Ladies and so Anna Airborne na Okopiemo or the Nordic Zone area say and it is here Sunshine Ladies and the FC Savannah and Airborne Tamale Super Ladies and the Nordic Ladies and Airborne for Suit Royal Ladies and so and the Prison Ladies and Airborne and for Dreams Ladies and so and the Kumasi Sports Academy and so at the above now for Supreme Ladies and the Ampimda Ladies and so at the above way matches now a bit me abaso or the Women's Premier League the hun seminal and so am I yet to farm near common on any farm on and some and so am I the Anum Sandra a Europa League no etimi eba so say and also results in Equaway at the first leg no Okopiem dia AZ Akma etnefie etiboko and the Tottenham Hotspur Boneka bakwa Tottenham entimi ensim Arabaka FCXB etnefie Emma Lyon etne Boneka miensa otimu bako Fenerbahce etnefie ma Rangers etne Boneka miensa Emma ono so etimu bako Real Sociedad etnefie Eboko and the Manchester United ekoye 1-1 enso honom Ajax Amsterdam etne fima Eintracht Frankfurt etne boneka mienu ema no etimi baako Glimt etne fie etibo kwa din ede Olympiacos boneka miensa ema no so entimi ensim Arabaka Roman etibo kwa din Athletic Club boneka mienu ema no etimi baako Victoria Present enso etne fie amokwa din ede Lazio etno boneka mienu ema no etimu baako na nyame ya atuma onim said the English Premier League no ebetimi abaso kama dia say ene no esiti EPL no mu say ene tie Nottingham Forest etnefie no atonsa ede from Manchester City na omode aboani Brighton Hove Albion enso ene Fulham ene bebo Liverpool ene Southampton ene bebo Crystal Palace ene Ipswich Town ene bebo Sanso ana Brentford ene Aston Villa ene bebo Wolverhampton Wanderers ene Everton ana bebo na ne Sunday no say ene ko Chelsea the Blues etnefie na Leicester City ede abom Tottenham Hotspur ene Bournemouth ene bebo Manchester United ene Arsenal ebo na ne Monday no West Ham United ene Newcastle enso ede abom na kopiemu Serie A na dia Cagliari enso ene John enso bonende Sanso ana kopia Saturday no Parma ene kwa ne din ene Torino enso ebebo Como ene Venezuela Leeds ene AC Milan ana ebo International Milan ene bo kwa ne din ene Monza enso ebebo Hellas Verona ene Bologna ebebo Napoli ene Fiorentina ene ebo Empoli ene AS Roma enso ebo na for Juventus enso ene Atalanta enso edi aboani enso ehona kopiemu ewo boboko anase okopiemu League 1 ene dia say ene sitie Toulouse etnefie no ne AS Monaco enso edi abo eno 745 ene meba so ene sanso ana kopiemu dia Stade Reims ene bokwa ne din ene Paris Saint-Germain enso ebebo Lens enso bokwa ne din ene Montpellier ebebo Olympique de Marseille ene RC Lens enso ebo sanso ana kopiemu dia Stade Brestois ene bokwa ne din ene Angers ebo Nantes ene bokwa ne din ene Strasbourg ebebo na bibia etimi akonkan enso horom na La Liga no say ene no ebekono Okopio Celta Vigo ene Linges ebebo Sanson Deportivo Alaves ene Villarreal ebebo Valencia ene okwanedi ene Real Valladolid ebebo na Barcelona enso ene Osasuna enso edi abo kama na Sunday no Getafe ene Atletico Madrid ebebo Real Madrid ene Real Vallecano ebebo Real Betis ene Las Palmas enso ebebo Athletic Club ene okwanedi ene Real Mallorca enso ebebo Real Sociedad ene Sevilla enso ebebo ewo La Liga no Spanish La Liga no mu enso eho ensem ne hwe ne fa ensem nyina enso ensi wo ha ne wo hye ne so say Roger Emmanuel the sports monarch and afa Justice Ebotila the Iron Boy ebo mechi no say producer me tell say no permanent ensem no bro me din I'm saying the prince himself F to the A and DY Fundy Makram.
Me that's the Fundy so dia good mon sama bread na no pay with Dwabo Ase our power 97.9 afenso TVXYZ because the Haxa make sure na the capsules egusua also tamfo kase pa so on te ye na dia meboa am watching ye fi se wo mo koto ye Haxa mixture and the capsules ro dodo na dia dance here say also tibia ya no mo mu o mafrim also no wa unim say ya de bonia anasa tibia bonia ba yana nsunsuaso ni bi se obohyeso na wo yefuna ye kapu na fenso ase aduane gira wo yam aduane to yam abuei aduane ato yam abuei okwa yane bia bo se moja ne wo sabia na diafra wate de meka no tebia bone wo se wo frim ene kwan no na mede ben se tene so no kwan ni din de Haxa mixture ene capsules dro also tamfo no ya jatum Food and Drugs Authority approval. Akwara wadi ifie dum ye no wonka ho bi. Oba abofra tua wo no fo ano ana opemfo edre wonka ho bi. Ba we ye dura nampa no ano hye eni also chia also ntimi nyina eni tete ba kompo. What did you make no? Also Asia also tamfo Haxa mixture and the capsules ntimi nyina eni tete ba kom. Bowro Kashi Drag Lane, Repage Ventures, and the Hallo Seba, Obenya Biato. Oko Medina, Catch Pharmacy. Tamadia, you know, Little George Shop 1 year call. And at Jukat Pharmacy, or Kaswa. And to forward my friend 0240-238-310 and at 0203-822-855. Haxa mixture and the capsules. Eguswaya also time for. And that means I can do a year 20,000 Ghana citizens. What is the guy saying about Jay? Oh, said the none near Siaje, Mugabe didn't Casacra, one Maquima, Mugabe Musana Sem, na Nidium Roswankwa. Mensaka real. No libi no labalaba. And that's when you're in Tiasa Mamu call. A Independence Day free screening. Moses Clinic. Oh, money J. Because you're 50 mushe, mu prostate tibia. A man of fibroid and so, and one seminal. A 50 mu come money a doctor for the incomo. But the Moses Clinic and about center way. Aya Yarisabia Okwa when he benchpa. Where Yarisabia Okwa. Yadia this one as sono. Who be here the at all. From us is 0244 068447 0244 068447. Enka obempo obedi madanse say I will follow the one no wo bodi omo ma no ekogu let's talk education consult because omo gina eye indec
yes
any Montessori kwan so and a tete mofra no
pepe kwame
abofra wodi evie 9 miensa
bosomi nsia
meba ho
okay
na okoto akwara wodi evie 9 na wo cheche nsemu agire wa ho enye se bia me ha mani na aka so wo cheche nsemu agire o se ba fem
me share the way mofra ewo let's talk educational consult kwame the way omo kasa ne se de omo ye omo ho na me hunu se me pese me kan se abrofo na be kire o made ana se entity no na entity na ntimi mfa nko schools ahodo nyina e wo Ghana mu
madam time bomb busa na but you say for oba call let's talk educational consult
if it's 6 months I call him 6 years almost all year round kwame vacation him enti also awofo no bi wo bebre adwuma enti wo mutimi hyeda enya bre mfa mamofra no me ba chaw let's talk educational consult sefa no bra ono afimu ni nyina no wo won hyehyɛ ya wo de o hyehyɛ pa o de egu wa amofra no o kyerɛ omade vacation kura nim na afi o matimi ama o mtete pa na omo atimi atompa Saturday schools nso kwame every time ejina mo de every Saturday say akwara no nyambre kura no de akwako ye niam bi ehun hia
but Saturday school na special one
yes
omo madi mfie dumienu dubako edu omo mu atwe no
okay
ubetumi de o makọ na entity na empenifo na je no so almost the umba next level
yes
it o macha
kwan ewo eye Teshi Nungwa Estate eye Mango Street numbers are betimi enye omo so 0249069821 0249069821 let's talk educational consult for no
okay NK within the last 24 hours and normal ye hu free mampanya so ye ho
yes
adan na di say yewura emene foforo mu ewo man Ghana
yes
enoma ehia ye no e say yamena ye mre ase ye twakwan bi ato ama efonyi bi abeda ye tirima de ahotoso bi aba etianya won say ne Professor Stephen Adai Krampo e ka say within President Mahama no ne honeymoon period no waya ade pa wa bra wojina de ogina say 11 no yenkoso ama no be ne Ghana fo ne nya adwe ye bewura san komoni mu
okay
ene nia ye mampanyi e ya fa disaster ho won twen ma ne ma ansa ne abeka never again waya mampanyi pan ebisi na pan so wakwatena fie sua ho ade
yes
ama ene nia e bobo ba no wotu wana mabo wotu ana e wana mo sen ye de san komo na e ba ye ba
So there's some look fast. Baba, me again. Yes, we are like. Me quite remember who hear me. Mentally, I'm sent my friend doctor when I'm crossing over. See what we swear. She has malaria. Malaria. Oh, what they say with the router? Me copy the ambulance. A drone, a friend router next. Yeah, come on, a drawer. And running so Gaftrap
ɛne doduro kuru aba so bɔde ase wɔbɔ ruta mixture aba so ruta natural products nnuane ne ruta mixture yɛ yɛde kutia atiri ruta tonic ɛna ruta life a ɛhohoro efi ne srade bɔne efi nipadua mu na san support immune system no ruta deɛ obi ase yɛ FDA agye dwedwe nkrato yɛ to
wafi hwɛ saa man yɛ ogyina hɔ yi ɛmɛma ne hu sɛ yɛka no wasɛm wo kaa saa papa kɛsie yi a na ɔba ha na ne nase ataatae a ɔkasa na ɔde ne nsa akatana no no ane but wewie de ne sei saa papa no
mate deɛ mmɔka no nyinaa Spanish garlic mixture ɛne ne capsules adaworoma ɛna mama pomodine saa no
wow wayɛ nice ankasa Spanish garlic mixture ɛne ne capsules ɛneama wayɛ kama paa
ɛboa ma mbɔgya di afirisa ne wɔ nipadua no mu na aboa sisasaborɔ awotutuo hypertension ɛte cholesterol so obi ɔtaa dwo so ntɛntɛm paa gas gyina wo yam ɛma akora amane amuhunu ma fichi kromu nyinaa ɛtuatwa obu akora wadware wie no afɛ na ne ho yɛ ne hene
enti ɛsono Spanish ginkgo capsules ana
Spanish ginkgo ɛno deɛ yɛ nnuano nura a watwe free ginkgo biloba ɛne soya oil mu ɛma wadwe mu so da hɔ
matin so sɛ yɛse ɛyɛ anti-aging ɛna ma good retentive memory na yɛtɔn ne hene
Antec Herbal Center for ɛna ayi ɛnyɛ na pharmacies chemical ne herbal shops ɛno ano sɛ mofrɛ 0266 11 41 11 apemfo abaatɔ mo manufo no kwada wo ne mfedu mienu ɛnka ho FDA agye edwedie nkrato yi atum
Nfitiasie no mene me kunu eware wo odro ene asumdwe kwan so yawo we na chi no mene kwacho ba hotel pop pebi say be sepeo what a team for so crown na maye
bibia wo nyankopon sem
ekoba ne san me kunu antena se
eduro botum waje wo eye edek SM bitters
Wah, any gia befi. We na me de empire edek SM bitters timase mama me.
Sa wa warrior mu eni je bewie wo paye a na sa wumpom agrodie ebeye akwana
na ye kamfo edek SM bitters.
Mrs. Wa oyem ye onyina monome no okọ one time edek SM bitters. Where do you
say oba wa fa yefunu ene oba oma ne ba enufu enumbi wo ye be ma na wonya 18 na untumi enum FDA agi edwedie nkrato yi
Emphasis 1, 2, and 3 admissions are started at St. Andrews Senior High School, and I have good news. Have you finished PEC and not been placed in a school of your choice? Do you want to rewrite your WASI? Have you been posted far from home? Have you been placed in a day school but you prefer a boarding school? Or you have not been placed at all? Don't worry, just hear me out. Your best bet is St. Andrews Senior High School, a grade A SHS with excellent facility and a wonderful teaching and learning atmosphere. We offer general art, business, home economics, agric science, general science, and visual art. We are located at Accra, Asinfosu, New Dwabo Ase, Dunkwa Ofin, Takoradi Shama, Mankasim, and Seshi Asawenso. St. Andrews Senior High School. We are always in the lead.
Mesi menana no aguru basa abibra bro tibedu ayimle no na ma prema ye.
As for me, I take very good care of my grandkids. Ye di agro na ye sa eduru mre bi kra na me ba no time de omo be gumi so weekend no.
Hey, womle
memre. Hey, I don't think I'm catch you say. Ya no medi garlic capsules. Poso nyina ebesisi so kama. As I stand here, my doctor said my whole system has improved very well. Medi garlic capsules. Yes, Medi garlic capsules.
Oh, sa na te pa dia.
Medimosis garlic capsules. Wa mamoja di nipadua ne mu afurusani yi na esiesie oba ne barima ma hon awodin. Ubenya edoi bi ato omanyi mu pharmacy stores frɛ yɛn wɔ 050-349-4885. Edro yi enye mamofra enye ndi mfie dumienu. Apemfo ene emma emanofo. Medimosis wunni how FDA agidwe di nkrato yi ato.
nkɔmɔ ahodoɔ ɛbrɛnie wɔ Dwabo Ase wɔ Power 97.9 afei nso TVXYZ. Well, na meka biribi afa atɔreɛ nkyɛn mo sɛ nyɛ biribi a yɛn nyinaa yɛbɔ mpaeɛ sɛ bɛto yɛ. No, ɛto man yɛ de ɔman no kɔ n'akyi ɔbrɛmpɔn.
Yes.
Ɛde ɔman no kɔ n'akyi ɛsɛ fie ɛsɛ ɔman no adagyeɛ. In fact, ɛnɔɔma bi a nkɔman no di ne sika bɛyɛ mpo no yɛtam ɛde kɔhyɛ ɛkwan a yɛbɛfa so ama yɛ mu soɔ ɛde afiri atɔreɛ nkyɛn mu. Nti mpɛn pii no wɔn a yɛ a wɔn taa tufu ɛde fa atɔreɛ nkyɛn no ɛyɛ no wɔn tu fo sɛ yɛnsi ho kwan. Atɔreɛ nkyɛn ni bi wɔ a abɔdeɛ nhyehyɛ mu no ɛno ade ne ho bɛba ba wɔ abere ɛba no nipa yɛ ɔdoma nkoma de asase yi ma ho sɛ di so ne di so ɛso nneɛma nyinara wɔ abere a wodi so na edi ɛso nneɛma nyinara no nso wɔsan so ahyɛw sɛ hwɛ so eti asase yi a nyame de adom yɛ yi yɛahwɛ so akɔsi sɛn wɔ abere a yɛhwɛ soɔ no nso wɔyɛ nhwɛsoɔ mu no ɛdeɛ ne yɛayɛ wɔ anamontuo kwan so a yɛde hwɛ sɛ yɛbɛbɔ yɛn ankasa yɛn ho ban ɛde afiri atɔreɛ nkyɛn ho ɛnɛ wohwɛ ɔman Ghana ɛne wiase afa na nyinaa ewiem nsakra ɛbɔ brɛ mu nsɛm ɛnɛ obi ntumi nkyerɛ deɛ ɛbɛsi kyena wɔbɔ mo Europe mpo ɔmo di ɔmo ɛwɔ ɔmo sika akɛseɛ no wɔn ntumi nkyerɛ wɔn mo America ntumi nkyerɛ eti amansan kabom eku ahodoɔ ɛta yɛ nhyiamu a wɔn si yɛn tintim nkrataa na yɛn twɛ anamo a yɛbɛtu ɛde ahwɛ sɛ yɛbɛ sustain development goals anaasɛ yɛde bɛdi ewiem nsakra ɛbɔ brɛ ɛnsɛm ho ɛsoɔ eti ni agɔtena ase climate peace pact na yɛde dibere bi krampo ahyɛ mo mampanyin no mu nsɛm sɛ ɛba climate change a within Africa's continent one no wo hwadeɛ we so wo so hwadeɛ we so yɛhu saa nneɛma we nyinaa. So what that should suggest to anyone in this world ne say climate change na yɛka ho asɛm no ɛnyɛ bosremuka bi ɛyɛ real because miamia ahodoɔ a na snow ntan ntɔ ɛna ɛtɔ miamia bi a na awia ntan mɔ ɛna ɛbɔ paa ɛnɛ ɛpo ebufu a no the speed ba kane no no the speed ba bazese no the speed no de ba no wo bewura kuro ni nyina so die na yen nipa ye wa asase ya ye frɛ no Ghana so ye e de si ho kwan me sɛ mo ma me Mr Happiness abrante Ghana ni abrante na ɔwɔ Netherlands no
yes
na no wo twa video bi na no wo kan nsɛm bi diafa sea defense mechanism anase sea defense a year strategy bi a wo mo Netherlands de ato akwan mu a se bi eponubufu no person oba man ni ma na so opeso oba wura kuro ni ma wo duru ade ye egugugugu fom yi so a bo se ono a watwen ye akonachi we eye bambo we ye sea defense war we ye sea defense project ayaye wo ho na no na wo mo fra mantem no efrese o mo pe me kai bra keta asem yi si ye ene ne bottom asem si ye ye ne honorable Ablajifa Gomashi edi nkomo you could hear her calling for it passionately sabere na do danko agufo ado de oman ni sika no e de han wiemoshan e de di akoniaba sabere ne de oman ni sika no e de tu amena se ye si cathedral sabere no na de hye wo framantam su se ye ma ye si defense project biti say e beti ba boy ho ban
na show me how
epo ebufuo mu no ye obrempo ye tie Mr Happiness adwenkyerɛ no na come apart you know.
Happy Sunday, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I live in the Netherlands, a coastal town. This is the sea defense. See, you see proper sea defense, the stones with bitumen. This is proper sea defense. Let me show you around. This is a coastal town in the Netherlands, and this is the sea defense because the sea gets rough here. This is also road for bikes and patrols. But you see, this is proper sea defense, and this is what the people of Keta needs right now. This Delta Sea defense is a priority. Hajj village is not. You see, this is proper sea defense. If you need a company who did this, I'm a Dutch citizen. I can connect them to you.
Okay, you
so that they will come and fix.
Our connection there. Why your connection? But the person be the sea defense no my no. When Mr. Happiness, any additional work from mountain say you may hear. So it was not surprising. Saying right after the independence parade, no. She had a speech called my very brief speech, but power packed.
Oh yes.
Punch home your baby so. And someone can come my boom, a trim my not drink, a senior yes war. What can say we ya pa straight? I should not tell you a bit man nanti and easy. One was who couldn't tame me. A jeans shirt blue and wash a khaki me boy and then jeans.
It's a jeans khaki.
Khaki beside and what the number from smart dressing. Now young quite the president Mahama a kind bra ura a year from Mountain one additional 18 come what can say be here by Yentino.
And they have made the assessment and they're giving us a comprehensive report of what is happening here. 51 households have been affected and 300 people have been displaced and 80 meters of the coastline has been washed away. Now, when Chief was speaking, he touched on what the issue is. We started a sea defense project called Blekusu Phase 1. The feasibility study was also done for Blekusu Phase 2, and the understanding was that when the contractor finishes Phase 1, he will continue with Phase 2. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So the project ended at Phase 1. Government did not provide funding to continue Phase 2. Phase 2 would have covered Agaveji, Salakope, Adina, and Amotino. And so that basically is the problem. The feasibility study is ready, the design is ready. We just have to allocate the funding so that the project will start. Happily, the finance minister next week is going to present the budget. So I'm going to ask the finance minister to include funding to start Phase 2 of the Blekusu Sea Defense project. Before we came here, we went to the resettlement project that I believe or I've heard is being financed by Ghana Gas. I don't think the project was well thought through. The work is shoddy, and even the area where the resettlement is being built is a flood area. And so if it floods, it will affect those buildings too. And so those buildings are not fit for purpose. There are two things we need to do. Start the building of the Phase 2 of the defense wall, but at the same time, resettle those whose houses have been affected. In the meantime, to alleviate the plight of...
Mami, Mr. Baby Ujina wa mami. No, let's show a year videos of that Ghana Gas project. No, Yabaha. Can say how many houses are affected?
51.
51.
Yes,
households.
And they have been destroyed. And 300 people have been displaced.
A nipa. 300 people.
Baby
your problem. And at 300 also, every abusuani team grana.
Yeah. So money was a Mano. What you say?
Baby on Boko school. And baby on Tibet. And 800
80 meters of the seaway. No, it has been washed away. You know, Boba, a dear bassa cinema about 80 meters. Yes. And I did yaba. Kwame sa to range me a taisi. Said the old kind, a fibiano, a likely say betting yesi. Eti beppe munei, and now in Fibian watching you know, saying a near Messi Fakwafa.
No, and then another president Mohammed Khan.
Yes.
And I was expecting so be raho. The another can say
yes.
Now you will claim be an EH. Now you see defense project.
Yes.
80 Phase 2 no. Nanka in Shishemu no. Nia wabebiano nanka waso
I was so twaso.
Elliot Wagba homano je bekono so. Nanka waso twaso. Omo bae no. Omo antwaso. Etiasa de ekwe yenchi.
Yes.
And you see the car war. Eye project bi abanda dan de say Ghana Gas nsem. Say omo a ensuo no epono bufu ya ebowro mu fia abejo mu fia ata na ni ase no wo mo pa baabi foforo de amo me se fa video ne kire omo pa baabi foforo de omo a eye biayo a wotie me biayo a ensuo ta eyiri ene yakosi dan wo ho
atache
baabi a ensuo ta eyiri ene yakosi dan wo ho so aban ni hihye mu no wo se ene ye de be ne se de baabi omo de omo coin na ye flat prone area no yensan ko pa baabi foforo so omo boni enkofo omo di oman yi yakwa omano so Elliot Wogbe the current deputy regional organizer Emma NDC Amanyo Kono or a voter regional drip coordinator Elliot yamwachi mu akwaba
Marty, and I want to use the opportunity to say good morning to the viewers and the listeners of the Power FM and the good people of Ghana who have the confidence in the NDC or Mahama who brought Mahama to solve the problem. I want to say congratulations to them for them to do a good thing to this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elliot. A number of things to talk about. We shall form Elliot Bapoto Elbro for Kassan because we will flow better pa Elbro for Kassan. Number of things for us to focus on. We'll talk about the president's speech, but tell me about the people who have been displaced as a result of the tidal wave. What are they currently going through, Elliot?
I've been a victim before in Ayawasu West, which is Kisama or Westland. So such a thing to happen to a colleague like this, I know how they are feeling. And this is the president that we have who always think about the Ghanaians. This is the president that we have who always is ready to solve a problem. This is the president that we have who always sit down and watch things outside, who knows every problem that is happening in the country. It is not easy for them. It is not easy to have your own house within the token of hours or seconds. Rain or whatever has to take you from your own house for you to be sleeping outside your daughters, your property, everything that you have. Within the token of hour, everything must vanish. It is not easy. It is not easy.
And so most of them are displaced. The president indicated that there are about 50 households that were affected. So where are they currently? Where do they? How do they sleep? Where are they sleeping?
I mean, as we are speaking right now, most of them are sleeping outside. Most of them, or 70% to 80%, are sleeping outside. I mean, when you go to the scene and your family member, you saw your family member sleeping outside. I mean, it is something that is very difficult.
Yeah.
But let me also use this opportunity to thank our regional minister, Honorable James Kunu. See, all these appointments that President Mahama has made to stay under his government, I want to say salute to President Mahama. He has chosen a right people. People who have the people at heart. People who always cry for people. People who always think about people. These are the people Mahama has chosen to save under his government.
And are you saying this because of the fact that he went to sleep outside with the victims that were affected?
No, that
people are saying it's a populist. People are saying it's a populist act, and that is not what the people really need.
No.
They need solutions.
See, Kwame, when this thing started happening, our regional minister have not just sat in Ho. He has been there several times. He sent me personally with the NADMO coordinator, director in the region. I've gone there several times. The minister himself have gone there several times. See, don't try to criticize. Sometimes, as a leader, it is also good for you also to feel the heat, so that when you come back and sit down, you think about them. Not that people to say, "Oh, my colleagues are sleeping outside. My colleagues are sleeping outside." Let me also use only one day to go and sleep. That's exactly that he has done. I don't personally don't see anything wrong about it. At that time, as a deputy regional organizer, I was sleeping inside my room. So if people, describe it in different way, that is their own decisions. But I can tell you, President Mahama said something yesterday. You know, this is the president that we have doesn't talk too much. And anytime there is a problem, I don't know, excuse me for my language, that it is a curse for this country. That when MPP come, NDC will come and solve all the problems that we have in this country. But when the Ghanaians make a mistake and give the opportunity to the MPP to come back, then they will come and destroy everything. This kind of defense or state defense that we are talking about, or Tiger Wave issue that we are talking about. I mean, you are a journalist. Go to the detail inside. That when NDC was in power, it was NDC who started the project.
You mean the sea defense project?
I was told yesterday that the past DC or MC was crying a foul. Despite that, I am an MPP. This thing that is happening, it is not the best. Because when we were in power, I cry and talk to my people to come and solve the problem. They refused to. I said one stone to it. That was the MPP MC, the past MC, which is Elliot. They call it Elliot, something. Was crying. That moment yesterday, he was not thinking because he was an MPP. He was thinking because his people had failed. You remember the incident happened in Mefe, where our past president came and said, "You people have not voted for me." You remember that comment?
We do, Elliot.
You remember that comment? But what President Mahama did yesterday after independence, tripled up to the voter region. What else do we want as a Ghanaians? And you listen to the speech of Mahama yesterday.
Yeah.
I am not the one who's supposed to repeat what the Mahama has said yesterday.
Yeah.
He has said it all and picked the middle of the ground that I will solve it.
All right. So bottom line, we're waiting for the sea defense project, but let's deal with some of the things he said. For instance, about the resettlement of those who were earlier displaced by the earlier tidal wave that hit parts of Volta region. I mean, that Ghana Gas sponsored resettlement project. President Mahama reveals that it is in a flood-prone area. How did that happen?
Kwame, yesterday we went there to see the project. If you stand somewhere and watch the faces of the president, you will not like it. I don't want to make this things too much because I don't know too much of that project. So I don't want to touch about it and contradict myself. And that's the fact. But if we as a Ghanaians, that a project was given to you for sake of something, that you want to benefit out of it than the people that are affected. There are certain things that we do in life that brought a problem to our life. It is that part of things that they give you the money to do a project. And they chop the money. And if you see the project yesterday, you will not like it. But Kwame, just to cut it short, President Mahama is going to solve this problem.
All right. Very well. Elliot, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. And I'll play Dwabo Ase Power 97.9. Elliot work by Deputy Regional Organizer, NDC Amanyo Kono. Sasso Voter Regional Drip Coordinator. I watch it say President Mahama sa or how he near money ya bay as a result of a punabu phono.
Yes.
Obe solvo. Badami Bisan say a year day in it we say Ghana Gas sponsored project. You say epo ebu afu asem kofo fie.
Yes.
Ase omodabre ye sit down for framomo. A year then the koba say baby ensuo tai
otadiem
eyiri otadiem
otadie
eni agosi dan no wom
hongi edua brobe Kwame reho na saa dan yi a ebi aba ne sai kra Kwame by this time yenko here estimation no yenko here sika wo mo san ya maso a wo mo de akoko wura saa otadie dan yi a nipa na atoro njem ato no na ni atutu aka ne nsem bomodi na pe baby na ma ne nda wase akosi dan wo nsuom ade ama ne sai ho no nkonko no nkochina
nyansa ben no Kwame and because of your maye yes say mine sika ai asa kosi dan foforo amomo that is and you see president in need choice so yabe tebia na ma asa ya chechire ne so by force I was say o pebe bi foforo ma manfo yi
na yes amanfo on beda he
and then the question no
hwede san se na ansan ya ne dachi Kwame atorenche mesisi wo Ghana ha bebre atorenche man ke betima prevent and e betima esi ho kwan hwe enane 3 days ya e wo konongo duma se wa Ashanti region Kwame ayi omo ton niema ye de bombe Anya galamsey foi wọ́n mu tọ́n bi wọ kurom Kwame illegal
wow
nanso ọmọ yẹ store wọ́n mu tọ́n sáadìẹ ni bi wọ kurom Kwame a blasting me nipa 3 ahwere ọmọ nkan ọkọ ngo dwuma se
etu bu so ahun say EPA oyɛ den standard authority ọmọ yɛ den ọmọ hwɛ masa no ma we yɛ tutu hu yie
Kwame de make no tia se hwɛ yɛ bowura dansoman gbegbe se koglefe
nsuoto
a kɔhwɛ de asi me na o ka sei wo mu gusu esi dan ne bɛn po no
good
nti yɛntwenya yɛnhwɛ wɔm na ɔmo sisi saa dan yɛn kɔ hɔ na ɛpo ne bufu na sɛ ma no so na sɛ ba na den na sɛ si bio
utie national disaster management ɔmo su a dabia ɔmo su a
yes
ɛnɛ sɛ yɛma ɔmo nyɛ authority yɛnyɛ ɔmo authority sɛ de bɛyɛ ɔmo bɛnya ahoɔden mapa na sɛ wɔka sɛ ɛdan bi si nsuo kwan so a
yes
ɔno a wɔ saa tumi na wɔde bɛdwira gu ba wei na kɔyɛ sɛ yɛyɛ ne dan no sɛ wɔne assembly ne mom ɛna ɛni nkuta ho
yes
na ɔmo di nkuta ho a no wɔgya assembly dan ne dan yi na ɔmo gya ma assembly na ne akɔtwerɛ stop work produce permit
kame ba hɔ
na deɛ na ɛsi
uru wagya malam places a ɔman Ghana asɛnsuo ɛtae tɔ a ɛwɔ yiri na ɛdan ne bebree wɔ a yɛma so ane akyerɛ stop work egu produce permit Kwame ne 1 month so ubosi ya plaster dan ne nyina na ayɛ din yɛ mɛtwerɛ hwe ngu bio because assemblies ne bi wɔ hɔ a ayɛ weak ọmọ di brown envelope kakra kɔto wɔ pɛ yɛ gya ekyir yɛ nkɔɔ bio
deɛ amafo dwene no
me ne wo kasa nso no Kwame ɛyɛ ɛdan no baabi a yɛsi ni yɛsi kwan mu yɛsi nsuo kwan baabi a nkɔwɔ sɛ nkɛde yɛ gata yɛtwa gata to na nkɛ nsuo to a ɛnya kwan fa mu free na ɛnyiri ankɔ nkurɔfoɔ fie no yɛsi dan no wɔ hɔ ne yɛatwerɛ produce permit no nipa na kɔ de biribi kakra akɔto baabi saa ne yɛyɛ hunu no efisɛ adan nti na nkɛ bɛma ho kwan saa nti nsuo no pete kakra bi pɛ na wɔ sɛ yifa nipa na sɛ nipa nneɛma nyinaa nti atorenkyɛm bebree sisi wɔ man Ghana mu ano ankapanifo hwɛ na ɔmo de nneɛma pa bi atoto na akɔm akɔ amenke betimi asi ho
hwɛ nano kyɛbi nsuo tɔyɛ
yes
ebowura hɔ na yiri
galamsey
kyɛbi court hɔ nyinaa hɔ yiri adan fi sɛ galamsey ama na ayɛ nsuo no
yɛdi asase na asɛ sɛ yɛde abɛ ɛkwan so eastern region kwan sɛ yɛwɔ police station akyi a yɛde galamsey wɔ hɔ police station nyinam police station akyi pɛɛ ɛnkɔkɔɔ side baabi yɛtu galamsey yɛkɔtu wɔ pemfoɔ dan ase mɛda ne bugu mu a maame ne wuyɛ Kwame deɛ meka no wote aseɛ enti yɛmpanifoɔ a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmo nhwɛ sɛ saa atorenkyɛm yi ebi nsisi no den na ɔmo yɛ wɔn adwuma ekuta ɔmo den na ɔmo de yɛ na nipa gu so wohwere ɔmo nkwasa
in the case of President Mahama nyɛ kasa kwa kasa action ɛtɛ eti wohwɛ na myself voter region video no to so bio wohwɛ nkɔfo edi n'akyi a works and housing minister edi n'akyi
yes
roads and highways minister edi n'akyi regional minister edi n'akyi amanfo more expertise ɛwɔ adansie mu ne nneɛma no edi n'akyi in fact ɛyɛ minister for science environment science and innovation
yes
edi n'akyi so a multifaceted approach ɛna President Mahama ɛhwɛ wei in fact nia wɔkɔyɛ no nora no oral ɛdan ne ho adi wom operation recover all the loot
yes
it is a Ghana gas sponsored program no amanfoɔ ɛtena sika so no mo kɔsi dan ɛwɔ nsuo mu no somebody needs to respond
yes
ɛwɔ so obi asotwe bi timi yɛ dan
of course
but yɛn sɛ ntie President Mahama bio wabra no ma revelation no na wɔde kyerɛ nia wɔn mo ba bɛyɛ ɛde afa ho mesɛ mo yɛn tie no bio.
They came and they have made the assessment and they're giving us a comprehensive report of what is happening here. 51 households have been affected and 300 people have been displaced and 80 meters of the coastline has been washed away. Now, when Chief was speaking, he touched on what the issue is. We started a sea defense project called Blekusu Phase 1. The feasibility study was also done for Blekusu Phase 2, and the understanding was that when the contractor finishes Phase 1, he will continue with Phase 2. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So the project ended at Phase 1. Government did not provide funding to continue Phase 2. Phase 2 would have covered Agaveji, Salakope, Adina, and Amotino. And so that basically is the problem. The feasibility study is ready, the design is ready. We just have to allocate the funding so that the project will start. Happily, the finance minister next week is going to present the budget. So I'm going to ask the finance minister to include funding to start phase 2 of the Blekuso Sea Defense project. Before we came here, we went to the resettlement project that I believe or I've heard is being financed by Ghana Gas. I don't think the project was well thought through. The work is shoddy, and even the area where the resettlement is being built is a flood area. And so if it floods, it will affect those buildings too. And so those buildings are not fit for purpose. There are two things we need to do. Start the building of the phase 2 of the defense wall, but at the same time, resettle those whose houses have been affected. In the meantime, to alleviate the plight of those who have been affected, we brought some items to be distributed to those who have been displaced. The items are from 3 sources.
Na ejuta ekuomo
nti omo esi dan no
somebody needs to answer.
Sa ye ka se omo nkotena se dan no mu a ye wie no omo nkotena mu omo betena mu ana aya sembisa me bisa omo
no but mama me ye jan boy man nko
na bi u jan na akosen kwa me ye jan na akosen
Ghana Gas omo ano mo hwep sa project
no so no
was ye twa omo nyina one by one yem bi se biso omo nsam ebeboa me ache kronfo kase bi
kwame
obi di sika na kwa bibi
yes ye bi se omo se nti eden na mo si ye no monko na monko tene mu akwa mbibisa so mo betene mu ana wo bra mo san di sika kokosi edan wo tadiem ensuo na aka nipa tiko na odwane wasa de na kosi nsuo kwame de nti na wo say ba na sa ye go mpadifo mo de o man yani mu na mokoso bo abro seyi a etu onyonko ho kwame etuadiem hwe sa de ye asisi hwe obi dan ana so apa enye dan ne ho na ase ajapade e wo dan ne mu nyina asei me no ka se ba bi obeda onibio say ya say ye pass sorry dem na ye pay school dan enyi fa na omo kwakoda ona ye rent hotel dia mama
all because ye phase 1
yes
of the sea defense project
yes
so say was ye phase
2 no
abami by was one ye wonye
aban da na o si onim kura se bibi sa ho
wonye ontoa so
efi so obi asase de da enti on fa ne sakra nkoka eye nipa nkwa na woje kwame eye omo a sabi wo ba bedi omo so omo de omo tumi ama na wo ba bedi omo so se hwe so omo so omo bra bo be ko yi ama omo keke ano na wo je na nya ne obi ato aso ntie menye ana meye kwame ene ma bebre hadwene wo man Ghana mu a sometimes say e ba Ghana sem ne ye ka kwame I am so passionate about Ghana say because crow we pedi crow ye wo yeni baby akọ amanye etwa ho etwa nyina akọ omo ne ye nka kasa ba akọ apart from brofo abeko eno Togo kind French Burkina kind French wo Mali wo nyina omo can different languages and so na obe fit in na kwa me bra wa bre no eti dey ntina ye ntina o man Ghana mu anye kom na atoro ye nchem enti o man Ghana ni ye mbo asesa kwa me beri fo hwe ne ma ye man
okay yamra Independence Day speech no so President John Dramani Mahama ne nsem ni bia o ka kire Ghana for number 1 cost cutting asema wodan na di eno kra de na intro no ewo intro ni mu se sika ye tai ehwiegu se ye de shefa ye di Independence Day no in fact no waboa me save 95%
look at
of a canon and we are talking about millions of Ghana cedis so yet said the President Mahama sika asem no
during the 58th independence anniversary we implemented reforms to the annual Independence Day parade. This reform eased the burden of thousands of school children who march, sparing them from hours of standing in the scorching sun. They formed up on the parade ground only when it was time for their march past and presidential acknowledgement. A few years ago, the previous administration also implemented reforms, deciding to rotate the hosting of Independence Day celebrations among the regions of our country. This initiative was intended to bring the celebration closer to all our people. Unfortunately, this year we are constrained not only to interrupt the celebration's rotation amongst the regions, but also to hold it on a scaled-down version here at the forecourt of the presidency instead of the traditional Black Star Square. This is necessary considering the economic crisis our nation is currently experiencing. Large scale.
Very well. President Mahama no kasafa a cost cutting. Remember so young tie bio wabra na watch a year and sema hodro edefa yabakwasem ho ne senia amama hudu obi twetwensem ede fa ekwan a ye fa so etu osagefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah aban no where revelation bi yentie no.
Osagefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of our nation, envisioned an industrialized, self-reliant Ghana, whose citizens have the highest standard of economic life and the greatest sense of self-esteem rooted in patriotism and Pan-African unity. But on February 24, 1966, a joint military and police coup d'etat shattered that dream, plunging Ghana into decades of instability and military takeovers. The verdict of history is now loud and clear. The classified documents from the United States archives reveal that this was a coup inspired and engineered by the CIA. This remains the most regrettable and darkest moment in our nation's history.
Wait, and as His Excellency John Mahama, and the Batoswa, Wabwama Mutala Muhammad Asavia, Wakam Rashabia. Eman ko bobi paye no say President Mahama de nama betale ho. What kind of so dey kufu adoti ekiro.
Ai. Now him say chebi for ayemfo no wo ma sorry. Wo mo say asemu a si wo mrahye bedwom entwa yie so mo de JB dankwa frafra CIA ne kwanya amfa so amoa
ene mampanyi dia dansidi aba
o dia dansidi aba enje se on bende me no ka say o mo se o mo de letter ba o e dia bre speaker
de si parliament ene dia mampanyi ka no so mbede ene so mo de letter
ba e bi o mo de bebre mampanyi so kwame nokre asem nokre kwame empepada e ba kope opese odi tro de a kwan bebre o wa betimi afa so na odi edi tro ba se nokre na apese wo kan ade no mi hu fo no tuntum kwa mi fo tuntum asa bibia ni ho e wo ho biom and hwese de Excellency John Dramani Mahama na no na okasa very passionate no kire se yensika semo a atoch asesi a enyanti se sei ya tetemi ma so ye hwese oman no emmo ka twitwi di bi okasa de for sika no na nan mpese ebobo so and in the number of hours na parade yi timi koso kwa last year parade no obi wo kofodia o gina ho sa no twahwe birim omoro ase ni ko hospital no wawu but eno you say they very simple emofra no ombe match no kra no ebedu time ombe match no yese mo mesala mo match wi amonko no omutimi gina awia so 6 hours 8 hours ni e de twese mampani beba betena se ansa na adwumade na timi akoso na ebi gina no mu twitwahwe kwame emwa ana wo kanu ho yekodi Independence Administration 2023 ye boka omane boka 13.5 million Ghana cedis.
Yes, our rotation.
Yes, rotation no 13.5 million Ghana cedis.
But almost our rotation na 19 international.
O hwe
for video no to
for video to na share expression facial expression no.
And I said that move in na.
Yes.
Ma video no mo no. Boss wa ya no de
na pem ho na wa ye ti say no aye say. Kwam uti say na eniema bebre o ho na pressure fan fa ho na no odin cause na ye kan semu a wo no te so esi ye ana na ye ka kire no enti ho de no ye 13.5 million Ghana cedis kwame odi ko old Ghana cedis no ma 135 billion old Ghana cedis 135 billion kwame na fe ye be hwe ko fo dia de ya ye koye no last year 2024 ya obi twahwe ya owu yi na o mani boka 15 million Ghana cedis that is old Ghana cedis 150 billion. Kwame Enwede ya President Mahama say estimate a edebra no say ye Independence Square e ka o man bebo ebe ye 20 million Ghana cedis o se da bi o man ni ska ye ntimi fese ska ne nko ye ba no presidency ya enti enu adwumadi e ko so o man Ghana nyina fa Independence Square e ka ko 1.5 million Ghana cedis. Kwame ye saving o man no almost 95% of sika anka yedi kwakose Independence Day
almost 95% o sika anka yedi kwakose
sika anka yedi ye ko tuom ga no ya no Kwame nko mine boka 20 million Ghana cedis which is old Ghana cedis 200 billion nenso President John Dramani Mahama said there be ompene masaka no ye mo o mine ni sika ye ho kire ye it was three ya out of 20 million you so 1.5 e dey say adwuma dey we Kwame o mpeli da we dey na akọhwe dey
if not just tete no ma so no
yes
and I say ye nkura kura sika no
yes
say ye koso ye to koso eye ni say ya yɛbɛboa anya sika ɛde ayɛ nneɛma eyi
wadaseɛ sɛ sika yɛbɛnya bi na bridge yɛ ankɔra yi nam so ɔmo kɔ school edua ebu atɔ nsuo so na ɔmo nam so de kɔ school no yɛde akɔ siesie no na sea defence a yɛbɛyɛ bleku so phase 2 no yɛde akɔ siesie no na nipa a wɔn nso atɔrɛnkyɛm ato wɔn ɛyɛ voter region wɔn mo nya baabi nna no yɛnya sika sidan wɔ beae papa nya beae nsuo tai.
That's right.
na ɔmo akɔdɛm na ɔmo so ɔmo asoma adwo ɔmo Kwame ɛyɛ leadership sɛ ni ɛhwɛ Kwame leadership is everything.
So leadership is everything. Everything is there. Effect and our course. Yeah. Effect and our course. But your exams. Yemfa the President Mahama Ekaye Efa Boko ho enso entuja. Eno ne yede betwa to. In fact, Boko ho asem eya adia eda na koma super. But the way one means someone ra ekasa in the nature say na what the ho to enkwada ema womo mu nibie womo mu buafo womo ankasa nyuma e wo boko no de womo ode ne ho ehye womo mpaboa mu. So the way okasa and say ye ka fie efie ne den efie ne ba bia me ba me de me titu a me nyama sumdwe but efie should not be ba bia me ba na me babrimbre na say awe honkwa na atome aden yentie said your president Mahama class asem no and question yebusa na say the way okasa fa boko ho ene sira wo sira say asundwe mra no sign na manfo e wo boko e fa asem no ye be ko boko live na ye ne yensa ntwani adi nkomo adi afro ba yentie president Mahama.
The people of Boko and other areas, it is time for lasting peace to prevail. Our children deserve to inherit a peaceful land where their dreams are nurtured, not where their nightmares are relived. They deserve to inherit a land where our markets are bustling with trade, not tension and conflict. They deserve to inherit schools that echo with learning and not melancholy. Let us not be swayed by division, mistrust, and the weight of past injuries. Let us give renewal of friendship a chance. Let us give peace a chance. This is not an invitation to simply forget the past. Far from it. It is an invitation to live above it. Fellow countrymen and women, 2 years from now, our dear nation Ghana will celebrate its 70th anniversary of independence. This is our moment in history. We have endured trials, we face challenges.
Yes, President John Dramani Mahama no nra wabra na wode nanudi sem etuja bra na yedi independence ba some okafa eye boko ho ani hia na wo sresa asundwe mra no sai na manfo e wo boko e fa asem no ora Idrisu Atongo eye ye Northern Regional Correspondent minu ya no ye kwa amano so na ye ne ni nkomo Idrisu ma chi akwa ba na bibia boko anopai
emi adom bibia boko
mfra ma anopai no sai na sitie titi mampanyi joma ama asema wodi tu dwa ne sra na wo sra se ebere aso se e wo sa asundwie ba no eni the way wo kan na asem no woni amanfo oboko di nkomo no sai no moje ensemi
yo enche ya chief on ya chefo and Emma ya chief on ya chefo say asema his excellency president the two Ghana ama bokoba amakia asa bibia edana kwamu because bibia edana kwamu na yesori amachi bia tututuri die cha omututu sa lua it sees much kra na obia epentema korenie ye beti me dia kai ya dikanfo ya to hono na amanfo apia ba omututu se de be ya jumaji no entimi enkosto na enam se ye chin sem na president the two Ghana ama make kan se GDP abani padi emu se asundwina omo etem ebetimi aba na ye omu nyina na epe basabasa yo ekoso oboko no
that's right
ya dia ye ka ono ma wo pesa basabasa fo ewo ho ko sebio ebilim ono ma eba na basabasa na no amu na omo na mu didie because ebi akonfo ebi na mu ne ye yinti asundwe ba pe omo mpensa omo de nkombenya akada bia na tuni jira musa ni yesu boko omo kum nipa omo dwane na manfo anya kwanya fawo na dwadefo so wo ho no so omo mpeni sei enkrofo ba school omo ntimi nkobi ka se dia yenu an ma mo fi asantima mu ku akra ne na yi amaba mo ye nurse for the teacher for baby na eja ho no mo dwane akọ.
That's right.
Te oba ho da na titina na uwie school asantima se year first akra outside the tower o get so base mu na obeye obehu na nisu adibia na so obesu ade for ka e de oku school na say uba na manye sa na te obi ete so dwane fe oni na nam ta sunjwe enihon general no e ba sa no ye dem didi mu didi nkomo
yeah
na I say ejidie abadini mu no te ensema mo kai no na so de bia ya ka di sisi tuya etutui ejina ensemu mienu mu uba bokwa to start for no adult change man principle ya kwese on to maybe ensemi beba na ombeka sisi say ne pesa moyen na ebi maya mfa anasa abana mfa suti ama oma akofa embebre aba na enra menu dinimuji nkompo ensama wodi to ye nemu ni se ye wo bibi afa the escort escort ye kasia mampese for you so bia omo pie akodwa and the military security no e guide omo de kom.
That's right.
Omo chese enkasa guide na se escort no omo ntwa se nkasa o e sheda no dinimuji nkona mkasa o escort the say bambo for you tu amu kasa o me boy ho ban then amu kasa no bia embo bi ho ban emfi boko ana say emba boko mam so ma fema mo de to jani say ebi mu ho no ma anytime my escort beba bia say bia wo escort ya ko abante asara escort ba da anajo no asundwe emba aha ke say na omu su say escort na ka mo de ba mo say abulu ne emo aduan no am de banye emo eye etuo ene na ya moy day omode evaluation enti almost say anytime I'm military and security the best to try bia bamun omonye search e wo sa de kode na omode ba na se bia ya bulu eye omonye search so muntimi enye mpo a omukodu be dia checkpoint wa omompa kwan na police for ne custom for na wo ho no omo adwuma na omon search hu se di na omode contesa anytime ya escort you be cosfia no asunjune emma boko ti anopai me yasana nka me ne binum kasa fa ho de ye ndo pa eno anyimre na asa aniji bi aba omumu said wo president na wetna independent akamasem senior secretary so no I say what jiji bi aba omumu mama jiji bi aba asema o kan ye no obetini agina so obama anopai yasina
very well. Idris Atongo, you hope say Saj Jidi Mapana abo monene eni jena abo mono ebe dane asundwe na ye nyina ye hwehwe edi amaboko. Medo ase ene obre no wadaje. Idris Atongo Northern Regional Correspondent President Mahama nsemo kafa boko ne hia se asundwe dan ho edi no eno na na edi nkomo ntihwe video ya ye de ato TV isue Bokote biani o Kwame bokote biani
hwe o hwe Excellency John Dramani mama obedi su nam yenu pepepe no koboko okay obedi su 2 days pepepe one of the issues are yinyade ni si akonya so no o atani to it
and kai say brand na wo campaign no
yes
na taika
idea na I wanna into na nyame nwanwa say yinyade ni si super one of the issues are o attend first Kwame nipa nkwa ne ye ka ho asem no na abribia kura mutim na abribia na esiro na yemhyehe hwe mamefo ye amoton ade wo kwan ho yi
wo de hwe se de ko no se ye din
ko no ye din sabi musie ye na ntise muku enipa mu wo ho nyina hwan na mubedi omoso bio ayehefo na mohwehwe se mubedi omoso bokofo yesrom ye pom che yenim se omohwe TV SYZ pa yesrom anopai president akasanra waba honum wode security hwe kwamhwe omo to ade no ayam sisia
mati pay
awia kete no mo pack nema no omo dwane Kwame because etuo no beto a ebeku no kura ebeku nti ye besere wom yɛbɛsrɛ mu yie paa bɔko yɛmpa bɔ ne sɛ Kwame anka dako yɛbɛsɔ ne yɛbɛtina saa bɔko nsɛm nyina no Kwame nke bi fie anka bi nsi bio na nipa ɛwɔ bɔko nkɔra mo abubuafoɔ disables na so amo de nya beto penalty se yeyi wa fi abrabo num eni sete sa baabi a ewiase edu no sa ne bi se Kwame atwam eni wo bio
era baabi o man Ghana de na
ni akyere no
for instance enra mampanyi kasa wo say enye sa Ghana beyond aid na ye de ya no fafa eka no they say baabi a ye duru no say ye de ya no beto yankasa ye no ma ye yeso so the president has a vision for my obeso odi enanti dru baabi it is say your miam ni bia asumdwe enda ni hwadi wo na eya na ho no ebeto sini boko ehia development boko ehia mpuntuo boko hia enim kro ni ebema sa no man nyina aba ne se sa ntokwa botimi wakame etuototo nyina etubetwa ni yetimi anantia bo
yetimi atena krorum yesi amofra be da ko school le se wo boko a wo school ko sizio untimi go school
example na nso ne achimota for
yes
sankwana na nso ne your friend say Kumasi Academy for compete
what I say dia mo ye no mo man da achina nkasa kura no mo sei no mo man e wo boko no adachi bia nko mo manyini nsuro mo so mo metena krorum ana mo gusu amo sei no ene etuotuto ene kunkunkuma ekoso boko no ene na nkora no wo mo hwe nsua no mo so meto aso ana nti yesre Kwame ahemfo ne mpanifo e wo northern region Ghana fo asofo mpanifo mu ebe ye nko mo nyina ntumra boko no mo nko na sa asem we nka once and for all no mo timi fe ma ne pomasi bre
last one
abiri bi ha gene dodo
last one ebe no kopa abo no hwa pa osima enkro last one here se Ghana normal yankasa ye no ye de ho beto so President Mahama Kano about 5 times say homegrown solutions and the kwan a waba to our best ye nyina ye dey ye fa so and se ebeka ebra no wa ban mu ebre bi no ansa ne ebeko IMF no na yakosenchi akotintim no ma ye no ye fa ye sikasam ebema sikasam na gina ye na ye tintim sa no ma no won krata so ansa ne ye kwa IMF eti so mo kasa mo IMF kro na o mo ko ye bra na o mo wa ban mu no ene MPP de ne nye pa na ne sa no ono ankasa bibini Ghana ni ne tenase adwene se wo fa kwa we so a ebebo no o mo ko IMF the same thing so no mo ye dey so we have the solutions in this country oba ban mu na anu ya wo fredom yenkotena Accra International Conference Center yengwingwin kwan ya ye betima fa so atutu ye sikasa ye wo ba abanto mo sikasa ye na ye ma ankrankran nyuma no eni animu sere be ya economy no begina ne na so o mo ya aban nyuma no ye fa nhihye nto ho sere be ya o madwuma yo ene nhihye no ebehia na nkwa se aba adwuma me ye ne biara
Kwame
eti wani nyansa o mo de tu dwo so enra President Mahama kasafa ye hia se ye be yankasa yade no wo se nye anofafa kasa te se Ghana beyond aid no na de okan eye bibi foforo na akufo ado tenachi wa bra na wo kasa asem no tie no
For Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of our nation, envisioned an industrialized, self-reliant Ghana, whose citizens have the highest standard of economic life and the greatest sense of self-esteem rooted in patriotism and Pan-African unity. But on February 24, 1966, a joint military and police coup d'etat shattered that dream, plunging Ghana into decades of instability and military takeovers. The verdict of history is now loud and clear. Declassified documents from the United States archives reveal that this was a coup inspired and engineered by the CIA.
Okay.
This remains the most regrettable and darkest moment in our nation's history.
Okay, and here the other one, but the another here can hear the or speaking on how Ghana can proclaim self-reliance on own administration through a year policies based on fiscal discipline. Fiscal discipline.
Correct.
Say sika ya beto sika yenya say mino. Ya be say ya hoso. Na ya de normal aya de vaso be free.
Kwame ye economy we se betimi agina ne naso no man Ghana obi bi owo me ho ato no a ade ba ko ebedi akotini wo mpa ne se yenya nkasa ni ebedi ni ebese ni ebenom ni mu bebre ne Kwame yenya ebeye And it's a the before Asana His Excellency, the President John Dramani Mama Obefia Kunyaso 2016 no your first Cape Coast and Commander Sugar Factory no funny Kwame wọbọ modern ṣàṣìẹ sẹ òsì sugar factory wọ man Ghana mu àṣẹ de ọmọ yẹ import sugar paa Kwame sugar yẹ de bẹ kuro mu akora nya de ketewa eti òsì sugar factory di ama ọman Ghana Kwame emfie nwọtwe a MPP abanya aba etwa mu koi ebe tena aso no chalk kokoro man fa nkosan Commander Sugar Factory no chalk enti oba yi a wasan akọ ho o se ne na me ye ewa ha na ma ye Sugar Factory a me ko ya meto aso no maba en Kwame nansiya wakọ ho no ma Commander Sugar Factory no e be sase ya juma so say be produce ye sugar ye be produce ye ni ma bebre ewo man Ghana ma Kwame be boa na economy na tinye gina na so se be ye no man ni sika betenem wa ya na nye sabiri bia no dollar ya ewo ha na edi ahim ko be ye be se sika ndi akọ dollar edi akọ import ne ma dia ba abibia na edi ahokyere na bebre sa Kwame
me is a video na ready ye President Mahama wa bra no kasa asem no on how say ye dan dan nyina ye beka so ye de ho ye nya e fa ho die but so no de no ohunu ne say oyen for policies a ebeboa ama oman no ebe sika ye nya sika ye wo no ye be hye ye ho so wo si ye ntutu ye sika enguo ye fa ye sika enko hye investment hunu bi mu investment emfa ye nya dey emra to fiscal discipline asem na no kan ye ntie
Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of our nation, envisioned an industrialized, self-reliant Ghana, whose citizens have the highest standard of economic life and the greatest sense of self-esteem rooted in patriotism and Pan-African unity. Our history is complex, marked by struggle, resilience, and renewal. But through it all, one truth stands firm. The unbreakable will of the Ghanaian people has ensured that no matter the twists and turns, our democratic spirit endures and our destiny remains in our own hands. The entire efficacy of this reminder lies not in just repeating it, but in our willingness to take decisive action. Actions that will break the chain of dependency, not just the empty rhetoric of an Africa that is beyond aid. Proclaiming self-reliance while marching straight back to the donors, into the hands of the donor agencies, begging bowl in hand, is really meaningless.
So, as I know, I can move to Kwame. No, when in the as I know, I can serious. And what can also not former President Nanado Dankwa Kufuor or propound Ghana beyond aid. What you say? Ye ka Ghana beyond aid. Na ye dimrika kwa MF4. Na bosia shy shabo say ye maya ye de ho. Ye se nyame ase. Ye timi ye ade. Na ye da.
So abosia wo wi ase nyina Japan bosia ye China bosia, Bangladesh bosia, Vietnam. Abosia wo wi ase susu bosia ye na dongo ka. Was he almost panda bond kumba bond just
panda bond ye China
China phone kunda ni Japan almost jini nasi Ghana beyond aid kwame eti the esi wo manyi mu mvie wodwiri kwame ano den na Nyankopon ene Ghana for ane e domase so ma hwanim etie Ghana for sufre Ghana for bre na sansesan yaba sabere ba bia adu obi amfa nakoma ne tirimu adwene emra me support His Excellency John Dramani Mama any NDC abanyi na o mine fa ntoma pa mfira
na omo toto bo ba park no so
omo nyai
yenye o machiri di omo nyai
wo ho Ghana for so
strategy omo nyai
Ghana for so hwe wo
na di omo ye no so good
okay
e boy me ehunu enso fe da ntemo eto omo kwaso anye ba wo abere omo ye no mammo me ye mfa yakoma e ma omo fi se enam omo so ene abedura ya no ato ye ba
If I shall plan, I'm sure you'll bag.
Brother, and not so good. Ah, not
time about me share me see about queen why me say.
Bra, said your time about Misha, Esia Jimmy me fearful, and Yadia about Ebersoy.
Really, I know this of offending na.
Bra, so me cousin me the time about Misha one dancia. We are singing now Ebertiminka. It is some malaria, where drawn the time about Misha.
And you go, dear, no more to want to meet any deal. What drawn the time about Misha? A drink and your ma or bar waffle through. The one ma for down for any aquada when you fear to me, and son of the time about Mr. Draven. She's a walk hospital and answer lab. I'm what who said, oh, a 3-day malaria be answer.
Kayo said time me TIME. Time about Misha. I feel malaria fever be than is Ziba a woman. Ubenya be at all, over the counter medicine sellers. Any herbal shop to do a name. FDA Aji a dreading cratway at all.
I don't know yet to be there and will be there pabas from Pokra. I will say a rebel and a how. Ya rebel now your quankra, would get China Wuna Anuye, and get to bray, nothing come for Lion Age Clinic Ghana and Famau. A handqua and other Puma, the baby be grow as so yare, and more young Susan Subanibia. I will say I will for every Puma, our Lion Age Clinic Ghana. Doctor, you are door Amubra, senior who farmers from Pokra, and I show you for no Emma Botono. I will say Uba be Puma Haseya. Yes, sir, and now we are ready to say syphilis, gonorrhea, candidiasis, the Alipa do not see a friend of Itano. Yea, Papini, a woman, our Hase. I will see a Bema, who was in any more, wouldn't see me why do my Emma more careful now. Lion Edge Clinic, Sabra, not a baby grow, and I will now so said Bema Mapa. So also saw your bar, and that's how I reform, the Babu Yabi. Much now bread, Rabbi Piano, our Lion Edge Clinic Ghana. Now the table first soon, I will fear.
I don't follow motion me, Mosun for Profiti. A breaker crane me yare, Anna Medaho. Madame Fubiban and Chen, me introduce Lion Edge Clinic Ghana, mammy. Then the 2 on a mono, the coy and the motion, a moment me do, and let me want to me to wow, me out, the leaders was. We can follow any Ghana mouse and so try more bra. Now be no wiresa.
Salam alaikum. Nazo nan ga wasu bitine. Amma ciwon da nazo da shi na ga an treat na samu sauki. Yasa duk wanda zai zo musulmi duka yayi kokari ya zo nan wannan asibitin ga da zai samu sauki da saukin kuma kuɗi ba wani charge. Insha Allah da samu sauki.
Hello everyone. My name is Dr. Maxwell Aziz Mensah. I'm the founder and senior doctor of Lion Edge Clinic Ghana. Our mission is to provide you with exceptional herbal medicine treatment and holistic healthcare to all our patients. With our team of dedicated staff and innovative treatment, we are here to support you to becoming a healthier you. Thank you for trusting Lion Edge Clinic Ghana. Lion Edge Clinic Ghana, your #1 healthcare expert.
Na Kwame me taxi driver na enkane na misisi eso misisi na kame na to na twetweme be na 3p garlic mixer no aboa me pa
asa miracle bi wadro no just mafu no kra se die sia twimi ankasa me humi esi so first me humi ana esi so obeka se die bibi hye me so bi no na ye normal mi bi pi na ti no ti pa me sa 3 days ni na edo na ankasa de nyankopon de ayi bi ahodi che ma ye bi anya sam keto ana se we de me fro aka so na me fa hye me nkwa no
me de abe fa 3 years ni ana asa me gina wa me na mu sisinya se me kwa me de ameko bi amu so much me dru ta ba 6 years ni o tema sisi am ye ma je se ene me jana Saya na nku me preko ene 4 days ana me koto 3 garlic mixture ni tema me kase yanku pe no yam se ende ya me no kase me ho atom ya me din wa me ntia se
3p garlic mixture ubenya bi wo mamu pharmaceutical shops and herbal shops Fred Piwak e wo 02489288824 and 020100002.
Live on Power 97.9 afin so TVXYZ. Dwabo Ase dwumadie na na gusu awoswe. Pedro wa Medina Cruz also share live and clear inside a year Indianapolis, Kumasi. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Tanaso Kesvin Junction X main location. Can I tell social life? What's Kwame Minkah? Have you forgotten Napo threatened his own government that if they allocate money for the sea defense project, he will organize the people of Kumasi and lead a demonstration? I mean, this is the kind of political party which we have in opposition now. Such a petty government we had under MPP. And Napo wanted to be vice president of this country. Medase Hannah, no message. Mami Abasi, good morning, Kwame. Can they build the houses on pillars? I think it's an idea. Obusasa, can they build the houses on pillars? Martha Dobenya, I say, in fact, we don't have to vote for the MPP ever again. Kwame, this is sad. A GMP Siska, a Ghana Gas Sika, and a Matuagusano. Ghana Gas Sika, a Timoni Nipaho, some will sit down and Nipa, Baby and Shuiri, Efa, and a Makosi Dine. Martha Dobenya message, you know. William Stockboard to see great show, Kwame, and Obrem Paul, and Lawrence J say, also share live. Sansona Yakubu Musa say, please, Bra Kwame, there cannot be peace without justice. Why? And Yakubu, I need to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Kase, a woman say you hear some video. Sansona and yes, in any say you read if ye. So clearly, not green or justice and so. Stellado say, good morning, Power FM. I just want to ask one question. So, the ex-president, Akufo-Addo, can he really sit on a different chair? And another be ordinary Quenya Namsano. Stellado me da say the message. What's what cost so far the Ebra? Basabre yanko Dr. Solomon appear could be Dr. Solak Natural Clinic in Komono. Yenin indeed. Doc, Agaba.
Yo, Madam Senator Asia. Then you had dear Pablo say very intriguing. And I said, I dear egg one bacopa. There's the difference between love and lust, or do and a conobony. A better sister who said, buy your obey, your dog has or nasa conobony. Yes, I think it's about the NTI say. Mango and abre mango fu. Mango A abre asodoso. Na mango B so abre asodoso. Now, mango ni no aswa masebi ne pie no ne branches na aden den na say ye bua for na say achia. Edua da mango na say. E na mango no say won krampan e wo so. Now, enipa mienu na ebet mango yi. Na ba ko duru ho no, wo hwe mango ni din na. One e komade no wo hwe. Into of mango na achia no. Was I saw ni stem no and wo so ni ser mango ne program and na nyafuna owie na mango no side na apan emfa no ko e ba ko so duru ho no wo hye mango in the common and there so da bi mango yi an hwa na frukwa na bu obre ne branches no ya da na gu fom wa swide so e ya pan and wo fast stick and wo de share mango no e choke no. Eno obu krampa ba ku mi woni na de ba ku mi no pe no obu free ho no say mango no e wa hoden and for the aba etene gently and wodi mango no sanko for me anyway the odi kind of wo share no interest not a mango de me de be for mango no no na second person as second case no and ye fe last and as akonobone the odi kan edi bibi hwe mango interest first edi bia sha ase no e ma me gina okakra na ansa no o tibia din and o tene gently no ye fe laugh obo nya te mango ni dia by comfort so te e different and na me who different between laugh and lust na generation ya na there's a small linkage between laugh and lust and pepi no ba na ye kopɛ no ya na ye frisi do no na mo ko we si apa no boss say be na the birthday be you know e be na Val's day be and a chance with by them tumbers back be grind and ye course ya pet you say says a mango na de papa hey when imagine who say mango de me be hey and wa ama mango no ye should that protect no e kwesa mango no ho ade ntem na mo be a birthday be in tumbers be na ye when ye say ye home hey where they accounting for But my brother sana. Hey, the 6 months in Nancy, say na date here. And okwa horon ofena bra Kwame switch off me oh my busy room I'll call you back adentia ye ba ye na sa break it ba na tito mu no enjoyment ye pen gen sanka sister it na nan sabe sa obi ba no okọ obi dia na wo sister course no nipa ba akọ pe ba wo ke mu na me odi me nsa ba obi ekọ checking na parameter ni mesrew na ya me how ba akọ pa ho no se sebe ade a ya ne entanhwe ye friend candidate applicants o depoa obo se SS stand bia se be se pick kakra free ho e be university pick kakra free ho ye ntam ya gine maso me afan se why dear my area oba bia obi me se won ko na obi sister mo na etna ho ache no entombes bi ba na Mr. Right no be na to but see apa de enti okọ se me se pampan no se be nko ye to was empire body de ba na pampan ne pamye na pi na di kan Oba sa afa sebe oba ho be 2 weeks no koye no oba mo so ase na nse wodwonso a ono be hia se anima white bi e be ba de no ho afa nsuo bi cream bi efia de na no ba e mo hia se na hefa ni we ba ko pempo ni e na to do us apart e na se na me nkwane me se ka me no be 50 years ni se wadwonkulaise me adentia bi koso enye eti to Ghana for mouth sebe e du pa e fa ni solar cable mesha e wodwaso so and funny says bia e white there e on sama funny say bia nye now one second solar cable mission there say one candidate are because all day pram one e wo no say e be sam one free ho e be pam pan free ho ma ade na enyan original taste e say nyakopon boy nyakopon body e fe na distinctive e sa distinctive no e sa condition ni taste e say maintain e no na Ghana for me hwe animu Eche basa se poposa swa nanka last na de ba ye de bebe to mu se kinkon ade ne ye minka ya men force no na sa no bi kra pa befa e the pressure ma ye to mo se man ne ba ko bo parent ma ye ho ade reason na make catch no wo so ba parent ma jane a e na make catch no na solution se e bra won se ka solar ke ba me sha no share bi wa ha e ma hifio tight o se all day plan ba o mo feel lactose cells na wa de na no the more no more feel na insonate na I say last can say hing hong hey na just why here am now you are there for the conjunctiva and one of the actors also like about me anymore I saw me kentiana basket no e bra zip na wind it up na conjugate na reconstruct cells na gasa na azip na can't say come e there was some of the alkaloids be ma boni say no a chin so free or absorbent a chin so better ho na pie and you what some of the another alkaloid we say absorbent a chin so na pie now some mechanism e be more be ensu wa himfi ho no ama krokro na free ho o wi onwe now I say we them na for some time what to them for some time long time na ensu atwago na hwa funefune no unso ba no you see that all any the click no come see pon se hon sent na sesa e ba you so like ba mission one e ba na be diffuse na remove sa bad smell no na ama the original scent na original ade na nkasa adedi e bio mo na e bua ama ho se German ye ba na yakem and me man so sebe ye ba na se ye kona ni ho de ka I can't get out na da maka ho maka ma me some for school fees ni ma me eja pade won ton fam ko ye agata ho ade sabe subante e ba sa e ma odon na ye kan ko nanim odon mu die wie peye e meri tom say him home ye kwa yakem we can't get out and na keep yen now be sase apa na it's now adventure na mema pere na ye ka yakem oba se won sanka so like ba mesha now tet now say nyehwe a ubon so wedding time no 6 months obese onyehwe ye bompa ye twani ade do bonse honeymoon no bonse call back we ya na o de background ye esenka ye tire hwe no de ba na ye kra na because onyehwe yeah it's okay me kra dem pin bebre once a month kra ya den ye ni anye ho na se dentia owura aye enyehwe ni se ade a e wo na e ba senketu mi ka koje di enti na wo ba na ye twe ya no afiri ho esanse bi eta ho aye oba ma won sanka sura ka ba mission bi ensesia himfi ho e ma ho nye kama na ye ntom na ma odon ye da betaka so ho ade we no e act to the beauty of love I repeat. But when who or dog oh love come or is in the area of emotion, and I say in the area of the soul, and the order is expressed. The only way we must express order is through the act of mpaso. It may sound young for only in yagro. Now one bearman and sounds and sansa ba home. Who wants a one casam when you confidence come from. Now someone said not sebe I didn't yeah. Oh, wants a one casa who soon yeah, Bobby Biatso. So like a bad mission. A baby sans left home, a baby said a pump and left home, ever bow restore at the length and diameter. I'm our confidence as a man now what they call wife for honor, but some say a would you every pay. So like a bad mission, they say what the man say, as a child. So once I can't tell, Oko Hapa, Sebe, so like I say, yes, Mojan, praise God. A be cancer him. I confusion therefore. I'm a wine I guy. No more last I super converted, catalyzed by solar keba mesha. Neko love, order, enqua, na asochai. Solar keba mesha, your body man say, asochai. Kwesi bia fa nkomo ihu pusomwe ni nkomo. MTN 0245 61 60 28 0245 616028 0245 616028 and Airtel non say 0261 736263 0261 736263 kai say ye sulak heba mesha ye bon mane say aso chai odono aso chai odonkwa.
Dwabo Ase from studio XYZ say what they Sulak and Komono Abre. Now, yeah, because we get a studio here, ya to Komona Hodo, so Jabiano, Dr. Prince was say, Casama for Edema Medimosis Clinic, Manan Medimosis Herbal Clinic, and then a better Como, Medimosis and Komodo do Friday, yeah, the Bremo. Now, and they on the other would level for crab. But that's how I'm going to make out say, who would dial star 426 star 5 hash. And that one submit to make a 500,000 Ghana cedis. Awesome boss got a show. Star 526 star 5 hash. A mega cash lucky box. Yeah. What dial it and naka hold over baby go phone or so. And that can move be a bet you subiano. Bet my bass sikashim. Sika put to say 500,000 Ghana cedis. One submit maka. It ought to our train where you're dead. Dear partner here. Dialysis here, mommy. Star 426 star 5 hash. Mega cash lucky box. Also, Brabe County. Network Bia was Subiano. We better dialing with chatting with. Let's can all the aya what the here be. Kaisa NL for Jatum. Najredia. And she be a womubiano. And one year, Juma. Wouldn't if you do what ya. I would won't count be. I would ya Yadinyaska won't count be. Yedi Agroki to every Yanyaska. A star 426 star 5 hash. Mega cash lucky box is under the Caritas lottery platform under the NLA. Ebusha for abono twa pound media sensia enche bia me de beko Medimosis na fe abono nkra o minor trance bakai se Medimosis clinic and herbal center. Woman did the all new and all important Medimosis garlic capsules aba. Na no ye just Ceylon cinnamon so any this edru naba. When you edru abua to cholesterol level no e check maintain no e manage na ba bia e be boa mo apomuden sem no etima ekonanim and afa so e feeling kikawa ba wura moja nim widi anim e fa detoxification so e yini nyina free so e boa ma moja no so di afurisa ne ye e sa so ba ye bambo wo pom e gina tia yade dom e ye Medimosis garlic capsules. Obowura Herbal Center and answer from a surgical shop be a war my Ghana on Sabeka Biato. But Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center. Bra sister. Me mama be me papa be tie ye. Say ye gun so more house. Say ye passion command me toye. Say ye malaria. Say ye hypertension. Say ye stroke. Say ye was sing wasem. Me say ye die biafa be down mo. El Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center. Over 31 years. And my boy Juma Diama Ghana this year. Your mining in. Yeah, and the two more was and Bonibia so dane dan nyina noma foforo no mo de ba dane dan nyina Dr. Dobache one ne dom noma foforo nkwa no mo de ba eye Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center uba wura wa wontu usika nguye uba wura wa ayare sana on sabeka Adenta yo po yewo Adenta police station yane post station no ene die ni mohwe Adenta barrier asem na make yi ena ASL dan kese ni Ghana Highway Authority ya de ni mo Accra ministry so hwan yewo ena feso je kodo yane school for the deaf no ne die ni mohwe Kumasi di ahene makokoben beto from Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center it was 0244 068447 0244 Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center we yad yet to betwa and one I was all call come on about our trap policy ma Edia Sanwa tree Power FM Araba Bazin pills or say Bazin Ebazin Wabandin no Wabanzin no Araba Bazin pills and Mamut Yedia Edu Fichukomo Hauna Ebreni do now the end your mojane ma ukra de mojane bana e two say your mojane say two say any also the neba pio marketing get what the end ba almost at two ne benabo me say amansa nyina beta unka eh ya me say what the ane araba bazem pills why ame agwie adwe what the ane araba bazem pills afia and your bowura herbal shop and answer pharmaceutical shop biana nebuso mu say araba bazem pills na no na ore okojukan pharmacy kaswa tigo office wa and afeso pharmacy wo eye kaswa wa so nsabeka biato Unicom chemist on Malam Junction Osons Chemicals at the Braka Ekus Pharmacy wa Shaiman and a pharmaceutical shops who wo Okaishi drug lane ubowura say man edro araba bazem pills and one na me pato Kulungana Limited or more champion a champion junction war East Legon or one of this head by Oshamacha one or more East Legon a champion junction from 0244 139176 and a 0204 139176 Afe Ubetua from more 0274139176 all the leading pharmaceutical shops in Ghana when you enter you definitely will get Araba Bazem pills at on one nom now taba. Health alert the dan you know mo kono heba ba wo yade once ma o mo fani agrokra say ye fichikomo how say ye typhoid say ye srade bone na ba ya kwansidie e dia mo apomuden wonsem say hunam tutu hunam ya o ya ukotodwe wachinka say wachi paano na ya o ya krankra hunam tutu sisi yade Brania fa fidie ni ntwitiu adwuma wo ye na ye obra adwuma da bia wo so nooma da bia wo gina tenten obra adwuma pa na wo ye no adwuma ben na wo ya wo mre mie etibawura health alert clinic na ye massage na ye mfa so na machine no ento so na ye detoxify body no serbe ahoto beba na ansa na ye behwe yade bia so na ye de wakọ lab and I'm also more person who run lab now. We laboratory test no. Kind of who say yeah laboratory service. Our health alert clinic. If you try to see if you are yet say trying upon on so see you may blame no num and crab at the back of Medina biwo kaswa poku asia shaman and attack rade. From 0242 518893 and 0242 518865. Health alert na. Dane dan yina ye kone heba. What mama found to be kan ye ngura eye Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center na ye ni nkomo na no Dr. Prince was saying ebetra mani minini di nkomo bi. Sa nkomo no said ye hu si hie nti ye say ba akere mo. Doc, ya go
efo apomden ho bia no fra Dr. Penyin e wo honum se obeje ofel so na on the wedi enkomo bibia efo apomden ho bia on se Medimosis for over 30 years and ye boa amount for efo mu apomden se bibi e house se oye be ma ojonso sem e how ojonso entimi e meye wo chim ansana jonso aba ojonso ana ebia kem eni ade no e ade se Medimosis ana e wo se wodi wani e kire Ghana ha eni bia se fa na nyina no e ko ho fra ma no me e ba hanom e ba beje o ma ya rehwe na wa oti hanom de chese eyadia abewo enti Bramed Moses so ye bia no na yenye hwehwemu emfa eya prostate no ene eya odun so sem no ho na yenhu kwan a ebefa so a ebetimi abo obi ho no ma ne de no ayekese to the extent ya share rubber e woni be mem enti odun so no etimi emma this efa rubber nim asana ba obi kra po ho no ma ne rubber ne de share be mem ma etimi nkontiji se de fa sabio na yase eye na funuma no ase ho no eye suprapubic area no se ekokoba ne side mi se kwan na ka Johnson be fam e wo be mem kwan ne mo asi esan eye prostate na ayekese ni na blocky eye kwan na ka Johnson no ebe fam a nke be ba no enti na ama no akwa ne sa no so Bramed Moses na se ye ma onra ebe reduce eye prostate ne size no na face no etimi aboa ama Johnson no etimi eflu yi afa eye obema microphobia ba ho no ma nyame adom ene ye nro panti no omu ehu etimi atom nti sabre ya meka sa utimi se wo bibi wo yo how bi efa Johnson ho woni mo bi o prostate how se bia ya hye ne rubber se bia ne de no emu edin se de kra na fa Bramed Moses asoye ebetimi aye hwehwemu ehu de enti a enam so a etisa ne etimi ama onro ama bibia akoye ede ama obi ho no so a ne Johnson no etimi ma but then no enye prostate no there are other conditions a etimi enam so a ede eye retention eba anase etimi enam so ema obi Johnson etimi block da bia ya na ye ka Johnson ho sem na ebi mu feel say ade a Johnson de o so obi etimi Johnson de na ko se ko Johnson no ebeba but enye obi na enya disa obi ho no ma ne problem pa eni se ne Johnson etimi emba ade a etimi etu obi a etimi to oba etimi to bema enye mema nkwa na enya eye retention e ma so etimi enya bi there are so many conditions a enam so etimi edisa o ha no eba on say e ma tie the Johnson e show mu eche etimi mu nya bi be friends cystitis and I say etimi emo mu bladder no eye inflamed e kokoba ne sa wan hwe e betimi affect eye bladder neck no na afi no etimi emma Johnson no emaye apart from that ne so ne free be say urethral stricture and say eye droben na aka Johnson ebe fam no e bia bibi a block e wo droben nim etimi emma Johnson no emma and we oba obetimi enya we be man so a obetimi enya sa condition no oba Bramed Moses aso ya ebetimi ahwe abo ama bibia akoyo bi so hon man de no bladder stones and kidney stones ana aye kese to the extent say stones ne bi akwa block droben na aka Johnson enemu anka ebetimi aba no etini na no ode be Bramed Moses aso ya ebetimi ama onra ebetimi aboa breaki sa calculate na stones ya ewo o kidney ana o bladder nim no ama Johnson no etimi effluate bibia fa Johnson hu bia no Bramed Moses Clinic and Prostate Center honum ana ewosa odi wani ekre obi ti bibi efa prostate no say bia ya diagnose obi say enlarged prostate say bia obi Johnson intimi meya Bramed Moses ana ewosa utimi ema odi nani ekre now the number no ama no afre no the doctor penyin so no edin komo 0244 068 447 0244 068 447 ofresa number ya doctor penyin wo hono ma obejo fel so na onu wedding komo ama bibia etimi akoyi edi ama so dey so start to ama ankrofo ebi mu wo hono ma na oyaw fa omu sisi omu ekotodwe eni ade on se pempi no osteoarthritis eni eyesa related conditions no se so tona weda nim eyenuna eno na eya edisa oha no eba eti obi hono ma so start to start ama eye ni sisi eni ni jonku eye ni ya bia na ontimi po ensori enanti ye pempi no se unya sa oha na it could be say eye entini na ede emoja ekọ na anim no ebi a problem bi aba ho se entini ni so o se eya efa osisi ase na afa oto ase akofa o na anim eti obi oho no ma obo se o sorry kra ontimi ensori na bis ase bibi atwe no afa eye ne sire mu sa de kọ na anim no eno na eya pempi no se e progress ya ne aka so nya bibi friends sciatica eno na se o de Bramed Moses aso ya ebe ye dictal x-ray ne ehu eye vertebra kra a block eye sa eye entini no anase ehu eye dompa a emia sa entini so pempi no yana eye no peni be na air blocking eye entini na ebe call na enimtina ama wo te sa ya no especially efa osisi ede call eye oto ase ho no Bramed Moses aso na ye nyehwemu ehu se de oha no esitie na ema onro so abibia ebetimi akoye ede ama ebia wo de ne ye diabetes so de ye hypertension ebia wo de eye typhoid wo de eye ulcer ya ribia how bia no fa Bramed Moses aso ebetimi aboa aye hwehwemu ama bibia akoye ede ama ebi so ho no person ye general check up say obi ohonuma ye da bia ya advocate say afibia na o say timi eye research and say timi ye hwehwemu edify ni pedua nim ehu say de esi ekọ yare pii na eha enipa na say yare pii edi nipa eto form no empempie no eya na static kakra and say static kakra no hu ne ntem na otimi esi an okwan entem a etimi bua eyisa ohaw no efri honum ti afibia no e wo say timi eye hwehwemu edify ni pedua no hu ehu say de esi tie Uba Moses eye clinic and prostate center eye dental branch ne or diagnostic center e wo honum a bibi efo apom de hu bia no uba ye betimi aye hwehwemu e de afa hu ehu say de esi tie ne etimi ehu say bia problem bi e ba hu ayetimi ama onura e betu ase kra e de ama say yare bit say kidney yare bit say liver diseases yare bit say cholesterol and say bibia e ha oni pedua ni bia no uba na ye hwehwemu ni ehu ba bi o ha no e wa ye betimi aboa ama bibia ko obi o ho no so ontinka wo ni pedua say niema ko ye so obey test no yes bibia e okay pempie no say machine na ye dey check no say nya advance enya de say o betimi o Moses e o good machines and say ye wo advanced machines eno no etimi eboa say bi kwa yare no afi na air starting on say yare ni pii wo ho no ma eya na starting kakra it say afi na air starting eba o ni pedua nim kra na ye de ye machine no eye hwehwemu a ye betimi ohu kwa yare no esi eba na etimi ahwe kwan a ye befa so e de treat ama bibia akoye e de ama eti bibia how bia no for ni eche Moses ya so ye head office no e wo Adenta barrier of Madina odu ani kire ebra Adenta police station no sabenkum so na wo say ya bansro no e wo ho no wo tema wo ashama na for ni eche eje kojo school for the deaf enche ho na ye wo another branch wo honum office no Accra Central so e ASL building Ministry of Road and Highway ho no ye wo another branch kuma say ahima kokobe so no ubetimi enya ye e wo ho ye number no e 0244 068 447 0244 068 447 na make I say Prostacure tea. That's right. Prostacure natural tea and no Med Moses say no pani bi so wudun so na entime meye no Mansanka Prostacure tea e wo the capsules and so e wo ho no ma and no Prostacure X capsules enti omo muntimi fati no capsules no e wo ho e ma afes no e wo Firmacure X and no manko edro so your ba ubusa e meye ubusa oti yaw o pa wo eye libido eco from ni na no Firmacure X no e betimi aboa e contain natural hormones a e bo ni pedua no e ma etimi esisi niema esisi ni pedua no esu ye so your ba na niema enkoye bi a wo hu sem o menses emayi afo ani che Med Moses so ya na se Mansanka Firmacure X no no so betimi aboa ama bibia akoye e de ama Afromosis ene Mediplus ene eye weekendi mema ebo afo no no nti Afromosis ene eye Mediplus no eno no be ma bia no ene eye weekendi de be ma bia e wo so say etimi ka bi ope wompo e wo so nsa eka eye Afromosis ene Mediplus no bra kwa mi boni tinko ana fe ye garlic capsules no eno so e wo ho no say eboa with circulation ni na no okọ drugstore bia obetimi enya bi eye eno ni na no drugstore bia we ko bia no obetimi enya bi upe dodo a na wa Med Moses ya so e wo 0244 068 447 0244 068 447 the radio fell so ama bibia akoye.
Okay, eti Dr. Prince say Dr. Med Moses na no nkomo na ye di ye no ene ye hunu se no ho abehia se ye besa atwe aba bionti afi me sure say baby a wote bia no wahunu ne enti a ye twe ba enti Med Moses no besra wala ko mu nchen serebe ya hoto ebetimi aba eye wapomu na mensa kan ya ye amanfo de anigye enya sikai solve nkofo problem emi wawo ena aboniefo atiom wagum ena mo frefra amanfo say me from behalf of TVSYZ ye nya ne sa said yes ye nini say ye di agoro na ebere no so ne ye jackpot na we ni a wo se sika no abeda wo phone no so ebeda wo phone no so a ye nkofo frew emi ye de woto ahoma no so ye me e de woto ahoma no so emi ye di nkomo e wo TV no so ni radio so never have we called Obi off air say mensa kanie na yan ntia say we wini na enam say we wini nti fasika say anase fasika say bra so bi yesa de na mesrew so woni akona number wo de fabre ya anase bo post for amane anase tel kokro na wo fra wo so no bo ma amane o mo ye scammers do mo agimi nti mo hwe ye obi obefro obi obeka se wo frɛ on behalf of XYZ na mensa aka no wonsa aka sika bi na ansa na abaji sika no obusebusa nsɛm bi wabra wuni yɛn no sɛ de asi yɛn ne sɛ wo wini a yɛfrɛ on air live wo TV no so ni radio no so etu obi obɛyɛ ɔsɛ bi asa ne akɔ ne yɛ scammer yo be ni bia ye no and it's supposed for na babo mama nia. You see, I'm talking as if we are living in a Ghana system, but system no se mitie President Mahama ase ye dru o hemfonya President Mahama e twa na se ye dru te bia system ni ye adwuma dia ma manfo you get me, and that's the reason tia me kasa sa no. But the opposite ye ni bia ye no se telco na o number no was one na pese o report on na se o bo mama nia o pese o di oni akone number so bre ye e wo XYZ ha na ye di tu dwa kire se wo no we scammer no pese o scam wa pese o ye o beti kra record no de ne na bre ye ya be bono ne ya bono su dede ama manfo ehuru eto bia ye so ye mo sa mamu fi no why mensa ka no wini akorogin ye frɔ obi abeto nka on radio no so ani TV no so obi amfrɛ wo akiro nga sɛ na we wini mensa ka fasika we bre no we won't do that and fire credibility entwitwi from sa never nyame mpangumpo. Alright, honorable Enyaba, la musi for mo want to say. And I mean honorable bedin komo, honorable or a professor, as associate doctor. Nana, Ebrahim la de send him say many honorable neighbor bedin komo say, hey, and then they come bedo because baby and President Mahama kona wana honorable uni ne kasa, e no de ni e day a taiche. Nra, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Independence Day speech no ye baba ye ho analysis key issues are we raise here the face kasem said ye was here the ho to eno ma ye so e kwan was here share ho so wo sika ye nyamu any revelation bi kra wo de to dwa amanfo se fem mo say eh mutala Muhammad ko kan wo mrahye badwafie bi bante ase ma obi a wo ye hufuo ko ka asem bi a na ye hwe na kira kwan a ye hunu ba bi owo as a speaker man 1 week kra yaso so mra bonte no mbeka se emia no eyi na President Mahama wa kan sa no wa kan so CIA backed Honorable Professor Titus Kofi Bayo ewa hase ya de na twetwe komo Honorable Prof Agwaba
enya
lambusi for what to say
nya me adom obia ho ye ewa lambusi na mefa akwanya enchia mikrofo mo lambuse mahemfo ene mi mpanyifo nyina omo ho eja omonti na me wa
that's right
na menchia etiefo nyina so
etiefo ni ahwefo nyina ejo so na obai no bi say lambuse fo asase afili reset na ene me say bisawo
o master ti fili pa
level ben no madru say
because anche me said be 1 to 2 weeks near me call lambuse Emma yako inspect first me koye donation of medical equipment and consumables because CSME abalambuse
cerebral spinal meningitis
no to me ko donate near worth 55,000 cedis
wow
to support them as a cia obia was ayare ni bia ebetimi aso ase time me be answer me kono na ya suspected cases 11 Emma nipa ba kwa hwere ne nkwa ba fiti time me de nyama ko be si na idie je say obia enhwe ne nkwabiom omo wondro no omo bibia ombetimi de a check say bi wo symptoms no kra na ye ya bi a library eno ye du a mema maso ati
that's right
ye the books in ma computers akọ doors e wo ho na ye ne amana ye din kaka na obia nkowia na community district about 51,000 ye need single community library secondary school 3 wo ho no library papa bia ni ho to na me botaye ba ko say we'll commission a library within the first quarter in Lambuse, and we are almost about doing that.
But let's stay a little while longer. A year CSM no so. And wabra ye jina hono me pese ye bien komoni fa a ye yadi bisa ne a kwanya ye beti ma fa so CNC who kwan po ye beti ma fa so manage se o man bi ti se Ghana. I mean CSM no spread net because every year biano from our side on your title.
In fact, Osha within West Africa and Africa and Kasano, there will be a meningitis belt.
That's right.
Unfortunately, no, the northern part of Ghana, that meningitis belt, you know, and every year, weather no eka so things like weather no untimi nsesa but anyama bi wo ho a yen amanfo a yeto ho no ye wo so ban bi a eso ase ma yare no timi etene
wow
anti senke yesesa ye nyama yi a ebetimi asi yare yi ano anything weather no ohyo ba nipanya cracks ewo mo hinimu na ebi wokra munya nose bleeding kakra moja fi ohinimu ba yare no so spread as droplets.
Wow.
Now whether no so ayen ho me who say the Minkah no eye cold pa and eye warm pa in the time eye cold no nipa bobom be who say nipa dadan ba ku bebre bom anamu we awaba and that's the time ohu me cry bit me fi ohinimu eko obi ho
emwa no
mu we yase mu sun mu tiatia mu etimi fi obi ho eko obi ho. So that droplet no, that close contact in the cold weather no makes that possible. Then unfortunately in the hot time utiminya the cracks because the place is very dry, humidity is very low. So these two conditions and a fuel yare no intenkebe timi na around this time wa nosebleeds ana wonya any signs of coffee ana ope ohinimu kakao na dia obe you see masks na.
That's right.
And kebe boa.
Yeah.
Face mask can prevent it almost completely because they're droplets. Efi obi hunimu na ko obi hunimu. Inti sanke timi esi anu wo honoma ebetimi atu ase. That eno ya ankre ahemfo wo role mo play.
Yeah.
Ya mamre no bi wo ho a ye a sometimes funo back 2 days na nipa gina ho ni yesu se de yesu no wo hwe se de ye dages na ye gina bom emema ni nyina gina fa ko bom na ye boss xylophone na yesu at that point you betimi a transmitting very easily.
Wow.
And around this time ahemfo no betimi a hemra a eti yesu sometime e buy omo years a covid time so omo years into betimi aka say bia ye bia no embro 24 hours ana bibisa instead be the contact time no eso be then the government can play a role. Na member Minister of Health Honorable Akando Abaso me can say one of the busiest ministers ever Ghana. Minister bia anya kwan kakra
enye moja muno anamuntu o sa fe no abenti
ejuma no doso David
bia no atiada enye no bi ni
enye no ne ministry ne ministry bia be ma untimi ntinase
ba se na no na ebi mu dawo
but wo pese o ye ejuma ni ya na Ghana o dwen Ghana ho a now show be to say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Ase a wuntimi na cause ono ba ye or shares or shas ya ne say CSM yaba meningitis aba cholera wo ha no was so called ofi ho ba ya opioid crisis nko fra cry do boni eba Ghana into odi enu echi. He's been very, very, very busy. Nti ebona baso or honomo CSM no and we send a team of experts or juma to try and control, and we've seen the impact. Nti endanase near Speaker of Parliament in Swasi.
That's right.
Also a donation, massive one. And Mochi chairman edu all the 11 districts I were powers. Lambuse enyabi. Nti aban atu anamo ewo ho.
But as a matter of policy no. Edie ni emfanto akwan mu said be ya. Nyade wanum bisa no
enu na meba no first infectious diseases no as a country we must have a deliberate policy on infectious diseases. We must open centers of disease control in the country. NDC buying a back sometimes you can say be back in the northern, in the middle, and the southern.
That was time Ebola buy.
That's
true.
I think we should revisit that.
Wow.
There were National Vaccine Institute COVID time on my opinion that at the buy. But woman to me and produce one vaccine and Modewie Matisse Cecia new director of that institute and I see you. I'm hoping some set your board no. Na intimi produce vaccine nebi. CSM ni abase siano ye ni ho vaccine. Second one bi wo ho a ebeba March to April eno ya ye wo vaccine. But nke betimi aye even near abase siano Ghana betimi produce yan ka say vaccine a ye nim time e ba. Ye nim say by March, February, March, April, and ever. And by January, now we started a one for vaccine in that area. What will be a home buying? So these deliberate policies can be put in place. Over cholera in modern day world, no civilized society still has cholera. Jon Snow, I hear him in London. Because I say over the past 50 years, London anya cholera bay. What is the difference? In Suayenum, Ejania Yedi. Adene was say sebi. Unya cholera, just say unsu ana wedwane no obi agya wo mu.
That's right.
Ene Ghana. That you same fatai.
We must write about that. Anyway, and the okay now following in line with baby President Mahama and the children we share a kwanya ye fast so ye Independence Day celebration na.
Yeah.
What tibia ye wo mase. Say entertainment wo maso. I mean, yen chance in free. Said you see save o mine 95% of sika nanke ye de be wura. Sa afashe ni mo. E dia signal na Sunday.
In fact, Mejidi say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he's hitting the right note at the right time. The first signal to everybody is that we are in austerity. Omani se kasemu enye inti obia enshene sapo munsu and onu nye na adwin say obesesika inti frivolous expenditure sika ye be say ne basa no unya ne wo na abamu. And I think that signal is going to all his appointees. Here ankenye enunkwan o ke 20 million no Independence Square and Black Star Square, every regional capital, and so you can imagine Sky Beba.
That's right.
I be saying, but we have still marked this significant milestone in our country's history. But Yan says Kasa, it should say I want to bar leadership is important, and I was say Obiabona Basso, and I'm sure we are going to get the ripple effect in different folds. Investors benya confidence say. Abanfo fra abagana no omu siesie omai omu mpese ombese iska because we do sika ma obi na hu se nipa na se na and say unfa wa de mani biom.
That's right.
So that boosts a lot of confidence, and I'm sure say even the investor community will realize that something new is happening in Ghana.
But does it in any way give us an idea of said your budget in because Professor Lord Mensah, economist professor at the University of Ghana, or say or sounds like a finance lecturer, University of Ghana Business School. Or say the government has signaled its intention to curb expenditures while eliminating several taxes. And also, Senya, Omesia dying no maybe or who say budget in a more of a conservative budget. Shamia Sunson Yesika Samo Wabra dealing with your necessary needs. Did the president in any way give you this idea?
I think so. It's all he did. Or Utie ni kasa and the not just kasa no, the actions that were taken. Look at the event, very modest, and you didn't see a lavish party after that.
Yeah.
Usually, after independence, Nkofaya invite to Omoka Kotinase big party, and now first lady the birthday.
Okoye Juma. On an Aframantem.
Oh, one to say why big birthday cake I cut it.
Yeah.
And Mahama is walking the talk. And when ye ebinumuya. Neyemi de passe. And or more fair to some fair and mampenny that dining na mumu na betina say who say we can do things in a different way.
Yeah.
What I say?
Yeah.
Yes. So that signal is clear. And I'm expecting a budget you betiti expenditure no so. Until I may stress Ghanaians should be patient with His Excellency. Mesre a party, especially party members who are expecting so much. So omuntu omubwasi because yan siesia yentimi nyane ye na ye nche ne yendi ba yetu ye bwasi siesia na nyia ye betimi wo bobusia bedidie papa ne na wonye hwe yese wotwa o tetwe masari a onwe now it was said to your bwasi. And I think that wo hwe ne akoya I'm expecting a budget that expenditure will be controlled. Already, the size of government has been reduced significantly. The Kasadu baby, I'll make some comment on some
Abujida point. Because me de bem say, in fact, President Mahama, ni padodo chain within this Fourth Republican dispensation.
Baba, all Castle Israel, Santa Yerefi say, point to one sabako say Chenipa. 4 egos pointed back to you.
That's right.
He was a deputy chief of staff in a government that the presidential staffers alone was huge, and the ministers
125.
So the ministers of state at the presidency alone were 10 before all the other appointments. What is the comparison he's making? 50s, 60, 54.
That's right.
Presidential staffers ordinary can be brain if you put all together and do system. His Excellency, see, the Felix told us in Parliament, say the total number of staffers or mobile forming is not even up to 60. And you are in fact,
but President Mahama promised,
yes.
Now ministers, so was it?
Yes.
One appointing no more than
60 ministers. Yes.
And one abortion, but
what abortion, I can say even the government machinery, office of the president.
Yeah.
One man number, but I say he's not going to increase the number on a huge number. So far, from Felix submission on the floor, Honorable Felix Ofosu Kwachi submission on the floor, that number, as of now, is not up to 42. It's not up to 42. Then we should have seen twice the number of presidential staffers you had to make up for this number. And he's cutting down on everything. Mahama Ekobibia, look at the motorcade, the DNH.
Yeah.
Or call from Mountain. Hey, I can V8 30 and now 40. I DNH.
Yeah, who knows how?
This is a man who has recognized what he is in. Independence anniversary, Yahoo presidential diaries, and in the war.
Sasabre yet no maso. And he no me bo sasabre no. And I'm your about 20.
Yes.
Yet no maso.
Yes.
Basan Kentisa.
Yes.
Can we use a BBC beba?
So Anka ye buy na bibia ye kama. And ye G and Yanka Bonini.
Oh really?
Tio Bema.
Waba.
Sikawo ho. Undeka. Bibia ye din. And you want to celebrate. And you want to do some paraphernalia in moderate quantities to signify the event, it will be acceptable.
Okay.
But not one that toilet roll 100 Ghana from Tamale. Omuko Independence Square. Eya take omu data nehe. Toilet roll bende turn 100 Ghana in the budget. Ewa Ghana. Bema. So yembo openina baso. Send ye oye ni ye.
All right.
And you better ban his speech, but I think I think he has signaled the right things. And even the Kasayona, he has given the explanation why. First, he has reduced costs drastically. 19 million cedis have been saved. Bema, do you know what 19 million Ghana cedis can do for this country? Only number of schools a bit more renovating. Only number of students are come duom. How many Edwani Endi? I bet media as a page and a mom. Another government had taken rice for campaign. His Excellency came, come with the young Crawford, or say stop the distribution of that rice to party apparatchiks. And feed the yamba. This is the president we are talking about.
And now Wabra now share Utie President Mahama Bra Walker Sasewe.
Yeah.
Not former president and Nekufado.
Yeah.
Na pension.
Yeah.
And no man obo so see what tinechi 18 no. I mean for me, na me wonder. Did you also get that feeling?
But I am thinking, say, for the first time, for the very first time, or maybe the second time. I think the first time was what Honorable Kofi Amabua told him in the chamber. The second time that he's hearing the actual truth. I think, say, either Nana was cut off from the world, or his advisors were not allowing him to feel what was happening to the nation. Because you need Kasayona, Obekasa was a different country. In the time of no or your president.
We just obey no home sabri.
Mijili say or bed drinks and near or yeah, 1 year, ye tune for to Bonnie. And he relied on those advisors. To see how who say, in charge of man ye BPC when we're struggling. Do you understand? Oh, you are in debt, and you think the only way out is to borrow more and to take people's money directly. Debt exchange. During the time we implemented this debt exchange, I spoke about it. Say, look, also cut your expenditure. because sika eba no and no so near woody no so tie no so.
That's right.
But you are prepared to continue spending normal as if nothing has happened. But you are expecting the citizens Obia wa ye nejuma for several years as save kakra towards a pension. And a pensioner what genesika scout be kwa to edro was won farmer no. Would be man in 30 years time but a man who call. And you felt all right with this and people defended it. You know, so I think say Ebiana or Mampenny wasn't getting access to that information. So this perhaps will be one of the rare opportunities he had.
Okay.
And so you'll be Ebia and now my job so I know I dream no I can say Ebian confirm to me for ye. My take steps via enye. And I will be happy to hear him. Ebia so ba no I can say Ghana for my ye name bia man ye monfanche.
It'll be interesting. So Obekam Kwandia. But your back actionables ni be a President Mahama editu Jana Okasafa self-reliance.
Yeah.
Here say ye de ho ebeto ye normal ye your so ye sikasem so homegrown policies ni ideas eso. Me pese ye tie sa part of the speech no.
Okay.
Na ye musa nie ntia. Asa Obeka se na kasantwie. Nie ntia okofa Ghana and as African Beyond Aid, the Enebaya, whatever Fato can say, and yet Anofafa Casa, she intended to say Africa Beyond Aid. Name where ye no my ya, a beboy mine, yet your President Mahama.
A nation envisioned an industrialized, self-reliant Ghana, whose citizens have the highest standard of economic life and the greatest sense of self-esteem rooted in patriotism and Pan-African unity. But on February 24, 1966, a joint military and police coup d'etat shattered that dream, plunging Ghana into decades of instability and military takeovers. The verdict of history is now loud and clear. Declassified documents from the United States archives reveal that this was a coup inspired and engineered by the CIA. This remains the most regrettable and darkest moment in our nation's history. Our democratic spirit endures and our destiny remains in our own hands. The entire efficacy of this reminder lies not in just repeating it, but in our willingness to take decisive action. Actions that will break the chain of dependency, not just the empty rhetoric of an Africa that is beyond aid. Proclaiming self-reliance while marching straight back to the donors, into the hands of the donor agencies, begging bowl in hand, is really meaningless.
Unless it is linked to the total liberation of our pockets, Anna.
And I don't know.
The relevance of Sir allusion,
yes.
Say Africa Beyond Aid, no. That what it could be important. Was it a political statement?
No, it's not on trial Obimpwa. Mimi Hune say, you see, His Excellency, all young politicians who are learning to communicate. He's a master of communication. That is something even his enemies cannot take from him. And he is very articulate and he's deliberate in whatever he's saying. Mimi Hune say Kasantri, Debi. Because you have declared a country beyond aid, a continent beyond aid. If it is true and it was actionable, where are we now? Why is it that the period where you have declared is when you go back to the IMF in a worse state? Sabreno. You see, there's contrast, exact opposite. Into Osha, what can say you want to be a country or a continent beyond aid? And now more than a year to 2 years, said we will actually be beyond aid. We had someone stand there and say, we are not going to the IMF today, we are not going to the IMF tomorrow, we are a sovereign nation, we are a proud country. Papa, and you know near the count. Come do grow for was you won't go to IMF. Unishe. Wabo Bisia Edini Basa. Also, you won't go to IMF. You need someone to come and control you, essentially. And we didn't take any pragmatic step. What the win to mean, and you say you are not going to IMF. And you see, I always say, I'm an economist.
That's right.
But I'm a medical doctor.
Yeah.
We share how NDC went to IMF and how NPP went to IMF and what we got from it. It has a likening to something in clinical practice. sɛ oyare na nipa doctor ɔhwɛ no o say oh metiye me ya doctor no say hwe nya so metiye me ya pa o say oh nya hwe papa meti pai me oh nya hwe o ma we duro bia o so nya hwe o kope bidi na afi wa collapse no atwa hwe na e de wa basa doctor na ho compared to obi oh meti ye me ya me nya ki malaria hwe okay CT scan nya hwe nipa na hu problem ni ntem no wa so ase enyema mienu nyina obetimi do hospital.
That's right.
Baba ko obedu hospital in a better state.
Yeah.
And your outcome will be better.
And ba ko de kodo to.
Wow. We went to IMF moribund. Like obia or that ICU we weni and sana you do IMF. Because at the time you call IMF that week, you know, say we had nothing else. The economy would have collapsed.
Wow.
Because we're not getting any external debt, lending. Nobody was then lending to us anymore. We were declared junk status.
That's right.
Our economy, everything was bad. Now, stock market, the bond market collapsed.
Domestic and
so. So where to even get money to refinance the country was, we were at the end. We had nothing. So at that point, when you are going to IMF, you don't even have the time to think. You don't have the time so obey and negotiate well because nipa na farmer pesca weni papa wo ko bobusia na busia na wo ko bono wo sika kakra wo ho a how betimi negotiate for 2 weeks and sana wa bobusia na what you get is better than and then one farmer me weni nipa na kase mema 40% kwa beginesa because unihwe
hence 3 million
hence but who dey share
was it 3 billion
3 billion 3 billion e dey mine I say you go from the pacho and someone will come to us and tell us what me negotiate a debt exchange boy and some man hey asembe na okay
I know you can treat say what me any o ma ye de o mo kana akọ ehye mu aye tu ye ka no
asheda enti na ye na ye ba betu aka ne da ache no o si ye boy and some man wo wakobo bi sua di wentimi ntua apa nipa na che o say on fa ma wo ma entua da ache no be ka che o ma ne say say aye ntua ka bi o bo nsama me what be that. So near Omampenyi can say, and he's walking the talk, or say we should put in pragmatic steps. Ebine dehi, or buy kaye deno, wasati chia, and not only that, wasati serviska to pay future debts. Did you ever hear that under the previous administration? Sinking fund wa no makogunu. Esla no more gunu. Or might be beer. In fact, the last contingency fund before Nkofo be free power. Or the letter called Parliament say drought be about north. No bono into contingency fund. No more coin. No more coin. That was the last fund. Not just a beer asa and sanamwako.
Wow.
Sane yadi. But what did His Excellency say? With chia bondholders, Nina, he has assured all bondholders say. Obia peswa on Sambeka. And he has already started, he has directed, they should start saving money
towards that.
Is that not a step towards self-reliance? He has brought in, and if UTA ministries need the krana, it tells you the direction the man wants us to go. Agric and agribusiness.
That's right.
Not just agric, planting for food and jobs. And that is a year accommodating for food inflation, nam skies. What has happened? So it's not just about the slogans. So when you're doing come. No, get to the ground and work. That's what His Excellency will say. Work by cutting your own expenditure. Work by investing in productive areas. Work by telling the future generations say who dream womo who jama japadie enyeka.
But some fiscal discipline ya will come once a man no so never present mama. Sa speech here you know. Abaina na ho na no na omoko no wo mo de mera bi ba ye omo friend fiscal discipline law say act edie enti na ye ntimi ani so na edie ne yesua frim wa bra ye kwayanim.
In fact menti nya bebre ase because o dream pa o hwe aban a wo mabu mra e wo Ghana ha mra aye fe ne mra yetimi hu se mra ne ye ne ya bu ne ya sinitri ase ya dan ne bi a that was led by a lawyer. But they broke a lot of laws.
But come here and say ye ja mama kwana.
Minjin this ebesa.
Sana man for bi.
Sa da be omnya botre because mrasem no ye ne gidigidi a wan hwa no asem. But to boasa gather data ye minjin this say ye beja ne mama.
Oh 4 years.
Aye.
Ye gada kosi da ben.
The papa 60 days pen ye do. 61 days ni abotre. Unwani ya ne be
Mate.
Eti abotre because I was some gather information here. Because see Fiscal Responsibility Act. I say your deficit in budget should never go beyond a certain percentage. No bueni aguso. No any pass.
Okay, so honorable to force mo.
Yes,
abreno.
Yes.
Etwe madwin si so.
Etwe ye kan omo ntie.
Well,
bebre kwa. You see oko that Fiscal Act you say omo ye no pass. Right? All the investment laws we knew in this country, they turned it upside down. Government bond was one of the safest investments. Sesia one I didn't sell a got to bond.
Manfosro.
Ebi amama start to e and yankof be who say okay, you bet me aye biom.
But okay with time.
With time.
Yeah.
So I am thinking say there were a lot of recklessness in expenditure, illegality, almost criminal things that happened. And when Mahama said the economy was criminally managed, people are like, hey, one can say. We all pass a law. Say your surplus should not exceed 6% to say 5%. Bank of Ghana for the first time printed the car. Emma Bank of Ghana ebe boka. The Bank of Ghana boka. Ghana happy. And you say that's not reckless. So that physical discipline is just as His Excellency has stated. And as I said, we're 2-1 and by cutting expenditure, reducing the ministers alone. Obi say, oh, it doesn't amount to much. Papa omo boa. From 125, 123 to 60. Each of these ministers are appointed.
Yeah.
Kobi akra V8, okra saloon car, special assistant, official accommodation. And yes, I didn't show.
That's right.
Omo fuel coupons. Have you thought about the savings that we have done? Has been occasioned to this country. That is physical discipline that he's beginning. Let me
give you a typical example. And then
yes.
And you interview.
No problem.
But a typical example here, do you be on Facebook and for Honorable Japan, Palm Energy Minister.
Yeah.
Also, Honorable Japan is telling us about the huge debts and the rot he came to meet at the energy sector and so on. Bank of Ghana too is telling us same with huge figures. Finance Minister too is allowing us to sleep. It's allowing us no sleep with revelations of stinking rot. While Honorable Minta Kando is also on the run doing same. Almost say or not your trend or say give us breakdowns of how it happened, who caused it, and the punishment awaiting the person. Finito.
What who say it will happen by a carbon trap. I start you $2 million. I said the year Sky Train. Yen ya ko chubi. Professor, I confess I ko.
Ya chino said yen.
Attorney General Aba Outabeka
say no.
He instructed say yen chino. He supervised that while they go into it. So once an arrest has been made, granted bail, it means investigation formally has begun. Oh, Papa, yen dream baby. Sebi obi anjimi ye. To be bokro no nyansan kro no ho nyansan kro no ye bo nyansan kro no na nyansan apo a one to Dwabo Ase a obey de den so ntimi nya hwe because the man na ye adwuma we are under rule of law ntimi nkochi obi keke say my yesi Palugu Dam how many $1 million ahwe in ho. We've seen it, but people are investigating ora they ora buy complaints on Munya, Bebre kwa Omagada document, Yediama Attorney General. He's going through them gradually. Intinu, by all means, prosecutions will happen. Near Ama and Kofoyo Mushishiwa said in the previous NDC administration, under His Excellency John Ivanzata Mills.
But memoir land you, Wabra Washa Sabo, then these same people are calling your bluff.
Let them call our bluff.
Yet, oh, Rane, see,
Papa. Nyabutre secondary school back be headmaster no we school adwane no koton ye ka say e also obi antimi nya no he because all nim mpanyimfo ye tete no da was sister anyama no bi gu ka mu oh nkola no frɛ me yo MP me enchi no sesi am se dey bi munya abutre mane ntuka no no mpie because ochi no obeka say onfa nko baby.
That's right.
Otu kan pie fi kro no mu a odi ko ni fi na ekoche no. Ya interdict no.
Absolutely.
So abotre sometimes you pray ho a you be say bibia. Mr. Ghana for because look yenya yenim say yetimi jisika e bi baka e be boa o mind. Hwe o hwe nsase nsema ye kana enye easy sao papa nsase na so obi to a we sit down so na me ka say nyansa kro no onim say aban nsase no wato.
That's right.
O sit down so e ba baji into to a woton na nipa no so aton no atunefo into we ba no ya ton be 4 times into a lawyer aban lawyer no waba. How are you tracing it from the fourth person to nipa na otoy first person obi kura wo akodi ni ma ye but wan fa ni din kra nshem wa flip no fast e de ko. So it's very complex e ya botre e na e be sre Ghana for because o man panyin ntimi ntina se e mai common de ye while we hu se bi no mawia enema no de to ho. So it is going to take painstaking investigations to be able to arrive as proper prosecutions. One will say nkofo yi ba ye omuye political witch hunting you penny for be do opening mo 8 years yantimi an anything at to force it.
And yes ana we zo be.
That is because when you don't get the facts and you just do political witch hunting because base say yanchi no ko chi obi without enough evidence. And see so gather the evidence quietly and sana wa ko chi obi to chi obi no nim ne o de eko
but ebra na mububo mu dede no na sabere no mu ni evidence
at that time no you are not in power or matina nyama ni biso.
Okay,
but you have information as what has happened. That type of evidence is different from the evidence needed to prosecute.
How different is it? Because mupo mu dede you matin e ka so me yakronfo
mama ka say back control.
How different
memma example be but I don't want to mention the agency. There's an agency almost any contract be every month people HRC kabia eco baby enya aban futrum, right? And people complain to us. You can make noise about it at that time, but contract you won't find when you hunda. Oko sha won san kan contract no. We are right to information. We are inform mount.
Yeah.
Now you take over. You appoint an acting head of that agency. Oko hwe contract no. Because the agency must have a contract. Or your contract no cry everyone nyemo mu ho ohun and was suspend the payment say betua mu a mo fa contract mo bra mo se aban ne mo akọ contract nte wo se busum bi o mo tua mo se fa contract ne bra ansa na yakoso etua. All this is just for us to see the contract ne hu ade a ewom because won't mean fa say you trust in court. You must see some documentation.
That's right.
Until once you are in opposition you are denied of vital information. Agenda 111.
Yeah.
It's another perfect example. Basically, the actual documentation of Agenda 111 is still in secrecy. Who Minister of Health or money information via then now Office of the President. Office of the President, Osi Hospital, our Ministry of Health. Who pay information on it at Unya.
That's right.
So to take any action on that, you have to gather all your information answer. That make us a abotre. Adibi information is headline. But to take legal action, you must dig deeper. No, na yesre among for say omunya botre.
All right. Yemra other aspects of the speech. 24-hour economy aspect. No. Yenti President Mahama Biu.
Okay.
Senya Oside Assembly 2 year. Edifa 24-hour economy policy. Ye unia kujo pon kroma. Member of Parliament ma ofansi ayire bi say. Echeche munu bebre. There's no one single definition for 24-hour economy no and you could upon Kromagin but President Mahama do kafa when ran here.
To break this cycle of dependence and reset our economy, my administration is formulating policies based on fiscal discipline and living within our means. We're striving to expand our economy to yield prosperity for all. And to do this, we must look within and make sure that we are raising revenue domestically. This administration is working to implement the 24-hour economy program to ensure that our economy never goes to sleep. This will allow us to create the necessary job expansion, boost productivity, increase our exports capacity and trade footprint, and also reduce our dependence on foreign aid. The $10 billion Big Push initiative We'll also modernize our infrastructure. It will create jobs. It will stimulate local industry, ensuring that our development is driven from within.
Well, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Nebusiafo, what in Kano. So 24-hour economy policy, no, what dovetail into the fact say, Ebemia bedroom pempenswa, ye be your sure, and a bebuama yet me at your grow your economy, no. But foundation ye weak at this time. In Premier ye kase, Yanam Kanya once a ye. So 24-hour economy no be yana.
Ebe ye inherite or maya and yamani be bree ajigon. Tafin ha ye shall say ya say ni ye. Energy uhu se Minkah se trimodin obinya anka usha de anka ufi abaimwa. Your hope is that Nipa will succeed, you know, should succeed and do well. But what has happened is that share the whole energy situation. Maybe analyst but the basic understanding of that, the major plants, gas plant was due for service. You made a promise that you will keep the light on. Wakacho said, don't service it now. After election, you service it. Why? And you know that almost service here, you must buy enough crude oil.
That's right.
To get the other engines to run. You didn't make arrangement for that. I postponed servicing twice. A new government buy now the servicing is at the point where people cannot postpone anymore because almost they have insurance contractual activity. Into Oman at that time a carbon fee. So now I have to service it. One day fuel we have to find fuel as a new government immediately. His Excellency traveled to Nigeria, to Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, all of that to try and fix this problem. So it's a temporary problem and we will fix it. We are fixing it because the CR maintenance gas started to say flow. Power no will stay.
But some can say marry.
Yes,
maintenance no marry.
But
so I didn't
for the past 2 days, has anybody complained about power?
Maybe I won't complain, but I'm not for complain. Maybe experiencing power cuts.
That be.
And run me experience be. And run I do me experience.
Sir, because me hope baby I'm yeah. About 2 weeks ago, up to all of last week, we were experiencing frequent power cuts.
And I've seen people talk about
but
it.
Since the past 2 days, I haven't seen that in where I live. I don't know if you are still experiencing it, but we are fixing it. Now, this 24-hour economy, one of the things that's going to happen is it's going to give us a proportional use of the power. The reason why sometimes you have power cuts is because the consumption of power is not equal throughout the day. So at certain point, we have peak demand. As a peak supply and do demand now, you have to shed load. That's what is happening. Now, if we actually operate 24-hour economy, it means that we are going to spread out the use of power. Because Anaju, a lot of people are home and working.
Yeah.
But the factories are not working. Because around that time, daytime, the factories are working, homes are empty. But if you are running a 24-hour economy, it means the factories are working round the clock. It also means that the consumption at home will reduce because we'll say ejuma we no ebi oba ha najo da wo ha najo no ofie no so obi anu ho a one eso light one eso enema you see consume that much of electricity. So that balance of consumption is going to come, but we are also exploring other means of electricity. Take us say we are going to have a look at solar in larger proportion. We are going to have a look at energy minister Bekache or parliament said they are bringing a fund for solar to enable people go onto solar. And if that happens, minya when your solar will fear and kaupe. But the initial capital,
experts say solar is supplementary.
Yes.
Would we find your main? Would we find one to say and only main source of
it can
energy
reduce significantly. Mimi was solar will fear.
Yeah.
Solar will fear no. My house light fan beyond national grid, so it's on solar.
Solar, okay.
Throughout, never.
And doom.
Do you understand? But the initial capital to set up, no, and yet easy.
And you can do won't feel it.
No, not me feel what me freezer. I didn't home because I know that. We feel it and like you do what me neighborhood. I see it. So the thing is that anka you never be scan ke solar nibi. Me kwa me yel me scan so ntina manya ne kese to take care of all those other heavy gadgets. No? So my point is that we are looking at a comprehensive solution. Sen kebe timia ye the solar iba ankra signing honor it will help us. There are countries that solar now SS you are able to feed back to the national grid and let now omadoka and later they can give you some back later. We are looking at nuclear energy.
Good.
That is a very reliable source of energy.
Extremely.
It is not something that is in the short term. It will be until we can say 4 years here solar nuclear energy, but it is better working at it than say one share say won't be home. So all this will complement. But the 24-hour economy, Papa, look. Akola wo che na de no ka se ohun a wa ye na dwe se ohun
oza
akola wa che da se ohun ade no o pa ye den pa ni ti ne fa shem ohun
edi jeje ne no so
ya kire mu a nipa on person obeti ase
yes obi ade ne de sa na kojo pon kro
yes simplified kojo ye minua pa kojo nim onim 24-hour economy definition or kojo to kwan akobe bi ehun hawa 24-hour economy eye ejuma. Look, it's a different thing say you as an individual see me ejuma me 24 hours. Hospitals running partial 24 hours. It's not full 24 hours. So even the health sector is running 24 hours. Partial. Trimming a buying hospital, I'll bet me I call OPD anajo.
Yeah.
Maybe no hospital in your emergency plan we are 24 hours. Maybe
yeah.
Bet me I call Kolebu 11 o'clock and I just say, oh, could you BPA draw?
Hey,
one of you. What I say, and now when you move back normal clinic, Obi and few 24-hour economy will be a deliberate policy backed by incentives to encourage people to employ more. We will be anti that. Say that we juma back now no. So we won't run it 24 hours. Yes, see, if you run 24 hours, we are not forcing you, but the policy is that if you run 24 hours, these are the benefits you will get. Your electricity, you will get a different type of meter, time of use meter, into your consumption will be low. 1 MPW. If you run, there are some tax benefits you will get. 1 MPW. I was consulting for a company. I'm producing apparel. I was thinking of their healthcare organ. That company were running just a single shift with 1,300 staff. When they decided to do 24 hours on their own, not government policy, on their own to meet a certain external demands, their staff shot to over 4,000.
Wow.
Look at the number of people employed. This is not NAPCO. This is not Deben. After 3 months, they people demonstrate for their salary. That is not it. This is Ankre Juma, permanent, well-paying job. That's what 24 hours is about. You have a filling station. Anka unya Bemankrofwa a service a Juma 24 hours.
Yeah.
Your fear is that armed robbers babe Josika.
Yeah.
Your fear is that Nkofon Betono and Norso. And that is because Nkofon Kwe Juma Najo. Trotro and Juma Najo. Ntwana Babeto Patron. Now there's a deliberate government policy. A Juma A Bianajo.
Oh, and nothing about buying AD anymore.
Yes.
So what said I'm not buying
So if you really want to understand, you don't need to be an economist to understand it. So if Osuha Mowo, several companies A Juma 24 hours. It means Obibefi Kaswaba Osuanajo, Obibefi Ashama Yabaha. So Trotro will work. Trotro will drive an engine and go for Babetinamu. Obet Jumana Jonon so they are Obeto Petro. That means that filling station will have to operate 24 hours. Now, to give the filling station for that additional security, yes, we are going to employ a lot more of police, fire service, the security forces, and they'll be patrolling. So it gives you that safety. We say we are going to have lighting up Ghana so that economy ends soon.
That's right.
So you are comfortable to go to work and back.
Yeah.
So one of the initiative will drive the rest.
So lighting up Ghana, no. And it'll be a year Greater Accra regional minister, regional ministers in that
no. You see, everything.
And more Ejuma yo.
Ejuma la ya can
lighting up Ghana and ye so.
By your beye, Papa, your beye. Ya shebo ni ebe ye papa na ye di nechi no oyobi a ontwa nkontompo
ni nyina besi within this 4-year period
ye sha ase ebe wa wontimi nwie but ye say ebe ye ne de ye be ye
but 24-hour economy na be sha ase
only the be sha ase already no there is a whole unit that's working on it. They need to bring a policy document. If some require parliamentary approval, it will come, but once the full document is ready, people will see how to buy in. Once you engage the business community, already government agencies, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, have decided to say passport officer
yeah.
DVLA will follow, others will follow soon.
Yeah.
My point is that once these things start, the fact that
Ghana Publishing Company, how can they do this without No,
so
policy document.
Good, you can do on your own, but the benefits that you will derive when there's a policy document, when that comes, then you are used to it already.
Okay.
Then you get your benefit very easily. What I say, because now they are doing that, but they are not getting any tax reliefs. They are not getting any cheaper electricity. So imagine when there's now a policy that makes it easier for you to do it. And this is going to create better jobs. Look, yeah, I saw why youth employment pay. And this year,
yeah,
Muslim yebi, mude nako buy. And then they realize that all those things they are just firefighting and solving problem. No, so empower the agencies to employ people meaningfully, and that will also increase our GDP because we are producing around the clock. But what I say, it is obisi on tiasia. Me nua kojo opon kroma. Kojo na me in school prefect or me assistant. I was secondary school. Pojo bafo. Me check kojo assistant.
Yeah.
Look, if one company starts to run 24 hours and that company is recruiting 4,000 people and all these will have to come to work, the dovetailing effect is that because they will use trotro to come, that trotro driver is forced to run 24 hours. So one driver will do morning and hand over to another driver to use in the night.
Wow.
That's 24 hours. So for that one vehicle, at least 2 drivers have been employed, or even 3, right? They will have to get fuel. So a fuel tender will open because on him say
24 hours. It's a free. Wow.
Free. Into because I want to say I don't get it.
But in all this, in Susan state-owned agencies are do not come. Nanu yamu economic dialogue. But this Professor Ishmael Yam say and grata no matintim and 70 back when say company which is easy you monton my japadiana. You first can through. I mean,
hey, yes,
how we ensuring say revival in now?
So state-owned companies, they try to throw some dust into our eyes. Eka say yembo some mom. Na me ka say o MPP aban wo ho. O mo ka say bon sama ya dia ya dwehun premier no. These companies bebre na edika because of debt exchange. Muntua wo kan. Ya more relief say entua wo kan. Papa, now so what declare profit. Does that make sense? What the kawan chiawka? Naskana abano. What say I've made profit, so clap for me. Compare whatever you call profit with whatever you owe. Then why don't you go and pay your debt? So they are in a very bad state for a lot of them.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we are putting proper management in place. Their boards will be set up very soon. We'll have to see how those that can operate under the 24-hour economy will be encouraged to do so. Those that will not do that, efficiency will be called for. Running a very efficient management system because look, people were still running as though she see.
Yeah, true.
A bad emolument of CEOs board for first class trips there, and they're not touchy a crowd,
and they were justifying and defending it.
Meanwhile,
for instance, Bank of Ghana also
yes.
me
that's what Abokato also be.
Yeah.
So those things must change, and it starts from the head. I say a number
Infinity, yeah.
And Sanson and Papa, Papa. His Excellency is leading the way. His Excellency John Dramani Mama is leading the way, being prudent in his expenditure, being efficient in his government, and he's expecting the same of all his appointees. Me to us sometimes me shimema or His Excellency I appoint him. Me shimema because Papa Nama warning several times. Say what you don't follow, no. He's not going to mince words. So it means that everybody must up their game because Master team no players will be removed. And to young guys I said ma obey you no be fraba.
That's right.
And not only that, he's saying that the standard of expectation he's holding the previous administration to, he's holding to the same thing.
Wow.
Or no one no masem or say abai the botechinu. Yes, sir. On one kind. So to be oral. Kai say once with man the same thing.
Wow.
You are in trouble. So I think that we need to really explain things to the party faithful. No Monte says we have a nation to build. Your banner the same thing to send the MPP for year now, and then Kaya Makra and Kaya.
Interesting. Very interesting. But I mean, one of these days, even this sound common. Very interesting. More questions on what will be said. But let's continue to stay on President Mahama.
Yes.
Now, I mean, in the case of quiet befaso a tupono or agriculture so
yes
near wakafa
okay
now for me the way we vote on near the common banner no
then can you be damn kwasam
yebeka President Mahama on agriculture I ready yankwa okay I'm saying yeah okay now yanko
agriculture remains our biggest opportunity to reduce import dependence. With over $2 billion spent annually on food imports, the Agriculture for Economic Transformation agenda is structured to strengthen local agribusiness and ensure food security. The Feed Ghana program will drive mass food production and stabilize food prices. At the same time, the Poultry Farm to Table initiative, otherwise referred to as Nkukong Kitenkete program, will boost domestic poultry production and processing to directly address our 95% reliance on imported poultry products. The success of these policies depend on active citizen participation, particularly from our young people. The AgriNext program will equip 30,000 young people with land training and agribusiness opportunities. Farmer service centers in every district will provide access to mechanization services, quality seeds and fertilizer to boost local food production.
Okay, now you shall hold a year honsem eno. When the bema economy in Yadaniana and cook on getting in home.
And no a solution. Papa, technology will help about you. A lot of things will help us, but the biggest thing about me aboye inflation everybody knows it. It's just that abaya abako bebre no, they do lip service to it.
Yeah.
They'll create a fanciful title and use it for party things. But agric is the solution. Papa, we share the number of things we have imported. Food and more importation a year. If we can reduce that by half, poultry importation, say betimia jaya, ke dollar no, CD, you see the menya against dollar, because people have to melt CDs to go and import poultry. Other fridge mo, maybe 1 year, 5 years near their brain, we cry want to taste, but because we are not producing. Me, I was going to start poultry and I had to stop because the environment was so hostile. Feed, nobody ding.
Environment, that's the environment of Ghana.
The economic environment at the time.
Economic.
I'm into farming.
Wow.
But I couldn't do poultry at the time.
Because wow.
Then you have to buy day old chicks from outside. Why can't we make day old chicks here?
And get no.
Import you.
You're carefree, Obi.
Oh, Australia, hinfa. I've been in the business before.
I don't go
Could be so. And problems I want no. You see, instead of empowering our hatcheries, no producing, a lot of the hatcheries had folded up because it was not economically viable.
Wow.
Somebody is producing the birthday old chicks with subsidies so you get it for cheap. Who produce? There's no subsidy. There's nothing, no deliberate policy to help you to produce. Into produce where we the cost is high or so agric really is the backbone because it to me a year production enough. Look, if for nothing at all, na a bu na a common form food inflation will drop. Our inflation will come down. Because that's the major driver of the inflation. You don't need to be an economist to know this.
Yeah.
So if we tackle that, say what is making our farmers produce very small, because Obia need implement not the huge man. So Farmer Services Center, open it up. Me ho say, Lambu say from farming season, ubet me call that obi efuomu. 2 days now on tractor.
Really?
Yeah, ukra scan we scanner my tractor operator.
So on
but you can't get him. Because one tractor is plowing several farms. Or chum be achino. Maybe out 200, none 300. Or highest bidder. But
we know the
so what is going to happen is that it's going to be a center. The concept where we'll have a lot of these tractors, combined harvesters, all those equipments there. Farmers who are interested will register ahead of time. So once the equipments are a lot, the demand will be minimized. Good. So they will be available.
But a lot,
they won't have the problem. So His Excellency knows this. He's a farmer. So I own him. So he will bring in the equipment. So once you place them there, the farmers can then use. And Sika will not be a barrier. Who needs Sika and you have land on Kwame, they can come and plow for you or harvest here. You pay with food. Maybe I do a where my 3 bags, another 2 bags. People without money can still farm and have food to eat.
Yeah.
And have enough to sell.
Yeah.
And that will reduce a lot of pressure because Masa Bibia ni we come dear. Masa come do bia a drink crown to me papa.
And then I did demonstrations a whole bano.
Aye.
But last one, you bring to your hotel. Last one, you had President Mahama, Ekafa, a year declassified US archives.
Yes.
A revealing Kwanya 1966 school no a course and now na engineered by the CIA. When your first time up, the petit sa kabibisa. Last time I course na emrashe bedefie. And also koye toma men tuama obi fa ho koka ne enseyeka. E die ntina na na hia say information no on our Independence Day ni emampanyin de betudwa.
Onim. In fact, President Mahama has done very well. He would have gone even more than that. What has happened is that the whole history of the country that we know it, they try to say the previous administration tried to change the history. Our school history and see Ghana, the founder was Kwame Nkrumah. Independence struggle, Kwame Nkrumah led it, other people supported, but the main person was Nkrumah. Some people came and decided to change everything that we know. Rename schools after people we don't even know. Universities be what didn't count me. What I say? Since I say any were founders.
That's right. No, not a founder.
Not a founder. And created a day. Use a date of 4th August, which in our history was never there. So sometimes when we have opportunities like this, we have to clear the air. They are forcing us to celebrate people who are, for all intent and purposes, were perceived as traitors of the state at the time. And now we're trying to build a country. Someone is writing a letter to the Queen, written twice, explaining to the Queen that you're Nkrumah. Then some years later, another person comes and say you're Nkrumah of the same ancestry.
Yeah.
So there's a deliberate attempt to destroy the history. Nkrumah statues were destroyed. His writings were destroyed.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the things I mean here as of today is why we still have our airport named after Kotoka. Mintiase, I don't know. Mintiase, because someone who led the coup that took away the man that we all adore and celebrate. If you are coming to this country, it is his airport you are coming through.
So, but now you are more some mobile business.
Well,
me
new to me, but me say yes, sana. I will support it 100%. If somebody could come and rename Tamale International Airport or Tamale Airport after a party member, name the contribution to the national development, name universities. Why can't we rename? Even attempted to rename University of Ghana. Why can't we rename our airport?
Yeah.
Why not? After something else or someone else. Because, look, we have to correct our history. Everything starts from the history. And we have to change things in the textbooks. Because in Nyama Yeche Mano, it's wrong.
Yeah, understand. Ebe ma aduane. Ebe ma esika. Ebe ma omana tumpon.
Ebe ma omana tumpon.
Ebe ma lorry kwan.
Ebe ma omana tumpon pa. Ye ma ebe ni have a proper sense of nationalism and see how ombetimi contributed to Omaino and Negana. O twen krofa mo dwen Omaino ho a omo swa. Nkofo bebre na adwen omo ho. omo ndwen o man no ho biom
enye ne yo no na akofa we aba amanyofo ne yo
eni gina from our history so won to history na say you must know those who didn't stand for the state and what happened to them. You must know those who stood for the state and they must be celebrated. No being who say me so me kumi homa or mine na dachi ye ba bebo me dimpa yes me kumi homa or mine me ko ye bibia ma or mine na while I'm out of the country they stage a coup and I have to be in exile and everything about me is destroyed. The whole country is the whole Africa is celebrating as Africa of the millennium. Then somebody says our Nkrumah. Just say that our income. I mean, we need to record the history. It's important because without your history, your future is unknown. Your destiny is not. It's blurred. You don't know where you're going. It's bleak. Yeah. But when you know your history, you are guided by it by the decisions you take. So because you know who say, hey, somebody was once a traitor. This person died in prison. This person did it because of that. Then the person do what is right. But what am I saying? So the history is important. Don't look at say who correct airport ebema kwanya ba ne. There be ebema obi a odwin o man no ho de ne sika be show man mu ema kwanya ba.
Very well. Yeah, then come on ba na we and reflect, review, reset. Yetima yesade.
Well, so it's any one event. It was the theme for the celebration. But if you understand, when you celebrate an event, it continues the whole year to another event. So as far as I'm concerned, we are reflecting, we are reviewing, we are resetting to the next Independence Day celebration. And that's what the resetting agenda is on for the next 4 years. So we are working at it. And we are Fred Ghana for put aside your partisanship, put aside whatever you're feeling it, and let's look at how can we make Ghana a better place. God has blessed this country with a lot of natural resources, human resources that is in abundance. And fortunately, this is the best time to be a Ghanaian because we have a president who is determined to do the right things, not only for himself, but for the nation. So let's rally around the flag of Ghana. Na yempia omaino na enkonenim. Nte ne usoria dream say den metimi aye aboa omaino. Ana na me yama memi hu eboa omaine sen. Na ankoye se pese menkumi nyankwa ene ye twi. Wotu bola gu gota mu a kai omaino. Se bola ebia nso be fa akọ enye memehwe be bekwa koye obi bibi. Nti ebeboa oman yini. Broni bi baha no osin no hu bola ya obedwin ye man no hu sen wo ye taxi driver e fi na kwa wo fo bi from airport broni a na wo ka Ghana ho asem a kire na ka asem pa na wo hu se wo do wo man na won ko ka asem a ese wo man no na bi ka se na mo man yi de ye fi ye de sa na eti dabi ampa sa na eti but see ade ya nya new president bia oboama omana yeye tie nyina ye sum ebi obesa ba biem na ha enye seda otumo no so bi ayi ade afi ukama to pharmacy debi under this new government and the new movement of Ghana no ye mpesa niema no. So let's all think this way na ye mbwa na oman no engina eyeyi a enya bedi hu mfaso de o
no crem
ebeba but better say ye bedi mfaso no than say ye bedi dwatwe no na afi ekomade anabe kakọbọ busia bedi me da ase
Matthew say na the one me pa honorable professor Bayo member of parliament Madishia War Lambusi constituency Anthony be honorable professor Elder Abraham Bonsu our Ewutu Breku in the central region and then the birthday was it you have made this day was it the way I walk asane nsema walk no ama nenia tata ni show especially in the day any birthday no
elder yama happy birthday yami shral na on kwantintin
that's right
no ojuma enkosi
that's right thank you very much honorable ebusia ye see eti honor elder Abraham Bonsu Ewutu Breku in the central region our happy birthday enkoma mediane Kwame Minkah nyame adoma ye be say bio good morning.